Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your good friend Rafa Sparza coming to you live right now. It is 3:36 on Best Coast time. We have a fun-filled evening for you guys, and I'm actually going to go live over here on our Instagram. Is going up right now. It does look like we have a winner in this. I'm going to get you guys some news and updates in a few seconds, but we're taking a moment to get our bearings about ourselves. So to fill you in on what's going on tonight we have UFC from Vegas 2. Hashtag is what they're using, which is ridiculous. If you're watching it up here, you're watching on any of our social media platforms, which is YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Periscope. If you're watching over here, you are watching from our stream that is happening on Instagram. We hope that you guys enjoy either one of those. It looks like this evening, I'm going to have to verify this at the Jits King because we're covering that as well. It looks like I believe Jason Rao has advanced first, as has Pedro Moreno. So those are the two that we have going on. If I get you guys more updates and information, I will make that available as we go on. What's up, Pete? What's up, Chance? So right now, let me see. Over at the Jits Kings, they're on a bit of a commercial break. They're showing you a gym. Is this the Gamblers facility? Sounds good. Good use of my time. What's up, Alma? Good to see you guys. Again, we're going to be here all evening for the UFC. We have coverage for that going on. We're going to have a couple guests coming in a little bit later throughout the evening. What's up, G-Baby? Good to see you, bud. I'll see you in a little bit on the show. Sick Guillotine by Moreno. Yes, I was in the process of just signing on, and I was about to start like, whoa, Sick Guillotine. But I got to do the host things first. So very excited for that. Yeah, this is really not exciting television. Ivy or Aguilera? See, we know Aguilera, so I got to go Aguilera on that one. I don't know how you guys personally feel about it. If you don't like him, that's perfectly fine too. I'll just tell him where you live, if that's cool. You got JJ Wilson, who's giving a thumbs across the throat, which can only mean good things. What's up, Armin? Good to see you. I hope you guys are enjoying your evening. This is the very beginnings. It's the first rounds of the Jits King tournament that's airing on Flow Grappling. We will not be turning it around to show you the stream because that's illegal, but we will be describing it to you, and we will be bringing you as much coverage as we possibly can this evening. We also will be cheersing those who get finishes. So that means, yeah, we're going to have to give one Pedro Moreno a nice little cheers in a second. We will also be cheersing those of you guys who are watching on our Facebook and YouTube pages. If you go ahead and share them and send us a screenshot, you will also be getting a cheers throughout this evening. I gotta let the foam go because I'm an idiot at pouring right now because I'm doing 3 different things at once. So shut up. Right now, you've got William Tackett versus JJ Wilson. This is a great match for a number of reasons, and I'll tell you why. Both of these are 2 exciting young talents. Of course, you have JJ Wilson as a Bellator fighter. He also has competed at Ultimate Mat Warriors. I've had the honor of getting to interview that kid a number of times, going up against the young rising star in one William Tackett, who's been punching above his league for a number of years. This kid was not only just on Verbal Tap, so I'm not just bringing it to you like that. Great camera work, by the way. I love that they have a gimbal that they're actually bringing it on. You've got William already on JJ's back right now with a body triangle. This does not look very good for JJ Wilson. William's going to have some time to go ahead and work on the back. He does have a rear naked choke. It does look a little bit more of a face crank, and it does look like JJ is doing his best to try and get him off of him, but William's going to have time to work here. This is a bad situation, and it looks like William is being a little unrelentless here, or relentless, depending on your definition. He's able to fight it off at least from the 2-on-1, but it does look like he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. If you guys are popping in and saying hello, do us a solid. Leave us a comment. Go ahead and give us a cheers. You know we love that sort of stuff. Yeah, right now he is on a good side in terms of getting out. The issue is that the foot that he needs to kind of underhook and get out of, he is now stuck on. As William Chambers gets this rear naked choke once again, he's fighting it off very well. This is a really, really tough place to be with somebody like Tackett, who was able to maintain, I believe it was Tex Johnson in this position for the duration of his time when he was competing over at the BJJ Fanatics tournament where he got punched in the face. I can say that because I was commentating that one. So, you know, I get a little bit. What's up, RIP Fitty Yoga? I'm about to start implementing yoga into my training, so any help and advice you got on that, I would take very, very nicely. JJ, of course, inside of the body triangle with the highlights in his hair. William Tackett on the back with the body triangle. Does look like he got some ink on his knee. I'm going to have to ask him about that a little bit later. Ooh, JJ doing a good job of at least staying composed. This is where I guess a lot of that fighter training does come in. He seems very, very relaxed. However, this is not a person you want to be relaxed with. And he looked like he could have been in guard for just a split second, but Tackett staying on like a backpack and now just consistently making time. Horrible. Again, with this face crank over JJ's head. JJ, again, does not want to tap to any part of this. He's going to try and tough it out. It just feels like it's the worst part to be a part of. JJ now slowly starting to press the arms above his head. JJ now rechambering, almost kind of William or Wagner roaching. I was going to call it William roaching. It goes to show you how much I'm getting on that. Continuing in on this attack. So for Jits Kings, it's a 16-man tournament here tonight. It's exciting. They have some of the youngest talent that you can get excited for. A lot of really, really good matchups, including two of our friends going up against each other who've interviewed on one of their podcasts. One young Jake Watson getting to take on John Combs in a little bit. Two of some of the very best American practitioners that we have going on out there. They now recenter them on the mats. And it does look like William's going to be able to go ahead and go back with body triangle in hand. JJ already putting up his arms. The referee positions them, and they are back to the races. William now continuing to scrape, trying to get some sort of bearing over on JJ. Now controlling. This is interesting. He's controlling the wrist as to continue finding more time to go ahead and do this. He's almost going completely underneath the elbow, which is just more inconvenient than actually getting in the choke at this point. We may be here a while just because of how stubborn both of these gentlemen are in these positions. So be in preparation that we might be hanging out here for just a smidge. And just to fill you guys in, yes, we will be here all night. Do us a solid. Send us some love. Give us some shares. Like I said, if you share or like it, you will be cheersed. We'd really appreciate it if you share it because that means you truly love us. William Tackett now continuing to just make life a little difficult for one JJ Wilson. As we mentioned, JJ fights for Bellator, of course, right now on a little bit of a break. Hey, what's up, Megan Johnson? Did you just share this right now? Hey, listen, you get the first cheers of the evening. To one, Megan Johnson, you are one of our most consistent friends on this show. We cannot thank you enough. We hope that you're having a delightful Saturday. This cheers goes out to you. Boom. What's up, D. Ken Peters? Good to see you as well, sir. We are covering here all the things you can do. We've got Kevin Bradley, who just gave us one. Hey, this is a shout out not only to Kevin, his excellent journalism, but to all the good folks over at the Jiu-Jitsu Times. We celebrate you even when you write fake news. But we also are happy that you're lifted up by the good reporting and podcasting of one young Kevin Bradley. Cheers. JJ looks like / he has made his way into guard at this point. So that is a pretty exciting thing to see on that side. Man, this is going to be a long night here, kids. 16 of these guys, lots more to come. JJ now is going to get an opportunity to kind of try to pass. However, William is already starting to invert. JJ go ahead and retreats back just for a smidge. Now is going to try and find his way to go for a toe hold just by spinning over and around. William's going to collect from the back, and it does look like he might be able to take another back attack. What's up, Omara Browley? Sorry, I'm terrible with names, so my apologies on that. William Tackett going to be able to put him back into guard with that little triangle where it's going to be nice on the ribs. It is funny to see some of the cameramen wearing these masks, though. It's the way we're going to see things, I guess, in the future. Now, if you guys want to educate me and remind me as to the exact ruling that we're going to do on this, because I do believe this is timed, I want to know exactly how we advance people. That's the only issue that we're going to be running into here. And if you guys have intel on how Jason, I believe, I could be wrong, advance, that would be great to hear as well. William using a very unconventional way of preventing JJ from passing. We go to a time expiration, and now both of the guys are up. Referee is now giving the instructions. They start back up at the feet. It looks like, yes, we're going to overtime, and I will fill you in as that becomes available to me. Both of them bumping fists. Hold on. Ref saying, go ahead and shield out. Cheers. I look better in that shirt. You do not, Kevin. I'll tell you, you don't look better in it because, first of all, I style and profile. Second of all, Megan Johnson, you're still great. Kevin, welp, I'm going to get chewed out for that. I dare Kit to come after me. Looks like JJ is trying to finagle some kind of leg attack here. He consistently seems to be going for these toe holds. And at the same time that you see William is kind of working that nice little calf crush over on his side. Both of them just doing the best they can to make a compelling argument, maybe to get some kind of decision. This isn't bad. The arm is through and underneath for William. It's a little loose at this point, but he is trying to get some kind of reaction out of JJ, who looks like he's going to try and recalibrate and use it into a sharpshooter if he was smart, but he won't because nobody ever does. It's always a sharpshooter. That's the best thing you can do in those positions, people, I tell you. The two of them seem at a little bit of a stalemate at this point. I also want to give a shout out to Jiu-Jitsu Gummies. That's a great it's not Jiu-Jitsu Dummies. That's a rival podcast. I can't talk about them. Never mind. I take it back. Anyway, William and JJ continuing in a shotgun position here. JJ almost uses it as a way to advance and try to pass guard, but he is fixated on this toe hold. I really hate to break it to him. I just don't think that you're going to see JJ Wilson get a tap from a toe hold from one William Tackett. William is just one of those guys who consistently can stay in that position and just not even care. That's what happens. Both of them just young. He does have a toe hold, but instead, William just rolls out of it. Now, might use it to take the back. Almost uses it now, has used it full saying into a pass. And I do see that they have scored points, which might be good enough. JJ is almost fixated on looking at the points, and now he has his back taken once again. At this point, I think this is going to be how the overtime has been decided. They go to the expiration of the time, and here we are. JJ might be a smidge confused. I think he might not understand maybe the ruling of it. The referee is going to tell him maybe just that points are the differential maker. So William Tackett is going to advance. Congrats to that young man. And JJ looked pretty good as well, though I think he might be pissed. So I'm not going to talk to him for a little bit. Let him cool off. Woo! That is how we are starting our day. We're going to be making our way to another side of the bracket in a little bit. So just to fill you guys in on what's going on. UFC coming up in a little bit. That should be starting at about 4 p.m. our Best Coast time. However, you know they like to chat and pretend like they're doing something for like 20 minutes before they ever make any kind of movement. Which, by the way, this is a very funny situation. Why is my remote not working on this? What's up, The Biscuit? Good to see you. Is it The Biscuit or The Biscuit? Because The Biscuit makes it sound like a pun off of Sea Biscuit. And I'm fine either way. I just want to know so that I don't sound like a complete idiot as I'm making words throughout this evening's telecast. Also, I'm just kind of bored, and I guess I kind of want to know. So my remote is not working on my Alexa. It will turn on and off, so that's dope. All right, TV. We got to get along here. What's up, Josh Ledoux? Good to see you, sir. Josh is actually at the event live right now. So he is going to be coaching in just a few minutes against one of our fellow panelists, one Jake Watson. So that'll be fun to experience. I do wonder what the delay we are on over on this side, but we'll get into it in a few minutes. Looks like they're in the process of finishing the cleaning of the mats, which is good given all things in our world right now. It is very important that we keep some kind of cleanliness because every gym professes they have the cleanest gym in the world. And if you've been to a lot of those gyms, you know that's not always true. Anyway, we'll keep you updated on what is coming up on the UFCs. As soon as my remote stops being a dick, I might have to watch it off of my computer. All right. We'll improvise, we'll adapt, we'll overcome, all that good stuff. Anyway, throw your questions, comments, concerns, hints, allegations at me throughout this evening. This event so far for Jits Kings is taking place over in Florida. I believe this is the young Roberto Jimenez that is coming out, who is going to be going up against one Yuri Villafort. So that is coming up next. There is no opponent on the match yet, but it looked like for a split second, Roberto was just ready to shoot in no matter what. So earlier this evening, we asked what people thought of who and what will advance. And we had some folks saying their final four. One, Pablo Castillo said, Jason Rao, Roberto Jimenez, Johnny Tama, and Ali Taza, which is not a bad final four. That hasn't happened yet, so don't take that as a result. That was just a prediction by one Pablo. So if it's right, I said it, and if it is wrong, just remember that Pablo himself was the one to make the inaccurate prediction. Both of the gentlemen start in regulation. You get a pull into guard, a flying pull into guard from one Humberto Jimenez, who already is at work on a triangle, and it does look very, very dangerous. Like he is trying to snap this one on very quickly against Yuri. Yuri may not be able to go ahead and recalibrate. This is an armbar now. He gets the tap in a speedy amount of time. Roberto is acting like he has better things to do these days. He is trying to go as fast as possible to get some of these submissions. It is in fucking tense. What is up, B Jiu-Jitsu TV? B Jiu-Jitsu TV. It's not a bad name. Good to know. What's on your TV channel? I think I know who you are, but I always forget, especially when I see them come up on the comment section. I'm like, wait, don't say this person is this person if you don't know. Anyway, hello. And hello to you guys. I'm checking in the comments. Throw them at me. What's up, Jimmy Barnett? Good to talk to you, buddy. I have an update for you in a little bit. I'm going to send you a link. I believe I did not send your video yet, but I rendered it, and it should be going up pretty soon. Is that Benjamin Zapata doing my job? Boo. Yeah, you've got Benjamin Zapata, friend of the show. We've interviewed him, so I can make fun of him. He's doing commentary tonight on the ones and twos. And yes, we are now moving into another match. I'll have to take a look at how Flo is bracketing some of these just so I can keep you guys updated. It is now going to be the super fight between orange belts Sofia Delgado and Alana Delva. Or Delva? Yeah, my apologies. I don't know them, but I'm going to get to know them through their jiu-jitsu in just a short second. So anyway, hope you guys are enjoying this. Remember, if you share this video or like it, we give you a cheers. And if I don't call you out, do me a solid. Just send me in my DMs proof that you did it, and I'm happy to go ahead and take care of it because I'm trying to keep my eyes and ears on 3 different channels all at once. And if I must say so myself, not doing a bad job. It's going to be commentary here and commentary there. So again, Jits Kings, UFC 2, have a ton of action coming up for you. This is going to be the orange belt super fight that is going to give a second before they go back over to the other side, the right-hand side of the bracket over at Jits Kings while we wait for the UFC to start. And what else do I got for you guys? If you so feel the need, it'd be nice if you give us a like, subscribe, any of those things that support us, a follow on any of the @Grappling Hour channels. They both lock up. They start in the middle of the section, already kind of a pull to guard in an attempt to go ahead and start working on some leg attacks over here. But now it is a close back attack, just trying to drag on the other side. She may be able to go ahead and start working this back attack over here. It's one of those kind of catch wrestling Sulov stretches kind of things to start off with the arms only on that side. Movement here, considering that both of these young ladies are very, very nimble already. It's already learning that we may be coming in on a rear naked choke. That gear is slowly starting to grind as we pull all the way back. There's going to be a change of grips, and it does look like we're going to get a rear naked choke. I hate to say those things without seeing it first, but it does look like this is one of those matter of time sort of deals. Nope, now that I see it, though, good recalibration. It wasn't quite just there, but it does still look really bad. I think she may be able to pull this off. She's not 100% under the chin, but just the period of time that she has where it's not really a 2-on-1 against the arms, it does look like she's going to have the time. What's up, Jay Klinger? Or is that Jay Klinger? JK Linger? JK Linger, that's a good version of that too. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you guys. She does lose the body triangle and is now maybe shifting to trying to take a Kimura grip to go ahead and maybe pull into an armbar transition. We'll have to wait to see over here in just a second. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. This is us watching UFC and Jits Kings. We will keep you updated on everything that we can possibly keep you updated on. Oh my God, geez, the flexibility on some of these young people. She looks like she's going to be in on this Kimura as she transitions, loses it in the middle of the process. What's up, Gianni? John Carlos, appreciate you. This is a cheers going out to you. You'll be on the show soon enough, but we appreciate you coming on, having some fun with us. I look forward to talking with you and about your show. You've been a great, great friend of our podcasts, all of them. So cheers to you, my friend. All right, what else do I have for you guys? Gianna actually is going to probably be joining us in just a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure we send this on over to him and that he knows where he can go when the time is appropriate. So just to fill you in on what's happening there. Ooh, she is in on an armbar pretty well here. There's a stack, a knee behind the butt. If she or her opponent is able to go ahead and continue this, yes, a move around the face. She still might be able to hold on to this, though. That's the only issue. Just to let you guys know, in transition, she does lose it. In a few minutes, we're going to be going ahead and moving on over to just the stream over on our YouTube and Facebook pages. I want to make sure you guys know that it is at Grappling Hour on all of those major platforms. Please join us. It's a fun time. We enjoy you guys throwing comments at us, having fun with us, giving us all the love. It makes us feel all the better. Helps us sleep at night, too, for being honest. What's up? Chase, what are you doing? Aren't you supposed to be at work, dude? You can't be watching my stream. I think Flo's probably going to yell at you if they see you watching my stream. Underhook on the leg. Looks like a sweep could be going on over on that side. We're going to have a stilted moment over here. Oh, for a split second, makes a transition. Loses it, but may gain a triangle in transition for it. That's pretty dope. By the way, her braids are super good simulcasting. Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. You're just getting money off of watching other people's streams. At what point do you want me to turn the camera around to show people the footage? Just kidding. I wouldn't do that. Last thing I need is for you guys to send me a stupid fucking get off of internet policy. No, Chase is one of the great, good folks. The kid's over at the Flow Graps. They're okay. She is working this triangle very well. I mean, here's the thing I can tell you after training only once in the past, 6 months or so, is that being in that position is a prolonged amount of ouch. There's not much you can do other than grit and bear it for a number of the period of time. Sometimes it's just across your face and you're just trying to breathe a little bit here. So there is a ton of credit in all of the minor adjustments. Now she's going to have the armbar and the triangle all at once. The hard part is she just doesn't have the lever to go ahead and pull it out. She might be able to get it here. The ref is now checking very, very quickly on it. She is able to get out. Look at that. That's impressive. And it steps almost right into another back take, which no bueno. I wonder how they do. Are they doing the exact same rules for to go ahead on overtime on this as well? Because that would seem unfortunate in this given situation, considering how dominant one of them has been throughout this match. So just saying. All right. Again, to those of you guys who are watching us, keep locked on with us all evening long. We've got Giancarlo, who's going to be joining us over on our main stream. So here's what's going to happen here. Friends, I'm going to kick you off on this. I'm doing it because I love you. I want you guys to join us on all of our other channels. We're on Facebook. We are on Twitch. We are on YouTube. And we're on that other one. Did I say Facebook? I don't know. But at this point, what's up, Terry? Go to Grappling Hour on all of those other. Why are you guys showing up? Stop showing. Go to the other one at Grappling Hour. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. That's the last one. We're going to be doing coverage for UFC all night as well as Jits Kings. I love you guys. Go follow us there, and see you guys in a second. Much love. All right. My guest today hosts like 9 podcasts, or at least works on 20 of them. It's hard to say at different times. You may recognize him as one of the individuals that I interviewed just a few weeks ago as a result of our Interbrew series, but he is somebody who we are excited to bring on for the very first time to our Fight Companion series. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Giancarlo. What is up, sir?
Hey, how you doing?
Not too bad, man. Are you watching both, or are you just watching one of these? Are you watching ESPN and Jits Kings, or just ESPN?
Just ESPN, because I can't multitask like that.
Listen, it's a little bit of an uphill climb, but I thank you for being here because it does make things a little bit easier as I now go ahead and put this on up over on our Instagram, because you can do that these days. You can actually post what's going on all different channels. I want to ask you this, sir. What are you excited about from tonight's UFC?
I'm excited actually for the preliminary fight of Gina Mazzani.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what's the other one. It's just I did co-commentate with her brother Dave, so it's like a friend thing. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Okay, so there is this time it's personal is a little bit of the thing.
For sure.
When did you come? Was it the World Series fighting one?
Yeah, the submission one.
Awesome.
It's a year ago.
Don't remind us. We all know that at this point, all time is just taking a weird back step to reality. Real. Every time somebody mentions, I did my taxes recently. I got them all set. I take them to my tax guy, and I'm going through my list of itemized receipts that I have. And he goes, "Oh, cool. You have this receipt from this." And I go, "Wait, is that this year?
Oh, man.
Is that this year or last year?" And he goes, "No, you put 2019. I was like, "No, I know you're right. But when you asked us what major purchases we've had in this year, I literally just thought it was 10 years in the past 5.
Oh, man.
So anyway, that's just the silliness that we got on our side. What have you been up to today, man? What has been going on in your world?
I've just been working. I was at just working at a dispensary, just rushed over here, and yeah, now I can just finally enjoy a brew and chat, man. I'm excited to be on the show today.
Excellent. Tell us what you're drinking tonight, sir.
So far, because I'm waiting for my girlfriend to arrive from the supermarket, it's a dry apple craft cider from Ace, California.
Nice.
Yeah, wait. There
Let me see. Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
It's got that little baby Joker on it, too. Look at that.
Yeah, it's adorable.
I'm going to go ahead and switch. I got to switch out. We have the different background. This way people know it is a UFC because there is an octagon in the background.
Oh, okay.
I don't have one. Well, I don't have one for Jits Kings. I could possibly make one, but that would require a lot of effort that I just don't know that I feel like doing at this moment. Tell us what's been going on your podcast. What have you been up to? What are you doing?
So far, I'm co-hosting both podcasts, Nasty and the Baby with Nasty Nate Harris. We have guests such as Jamie Kilstein, Carlos Condit, Gary Tonin on the show. It's mostly a comedy podcast, so we barely really talk about fighting and stuff. I mean, it'll be like half of the episode I was just talking to Carlos about my cat, really. And then I host a solo podcast called Cover Your Mouth. It's a comedy podcast too, but I bring on a bunch of different types of guests. I'm having Matt Page on for this week's who's Master Ken, so it's going to be a really fun projects, man. It's been crazy.
That should be dope. I can only imagine what kind of silly interview that will be.
I'm excited.
Yeah, he's a very funny person. What can I tell you that is happening on this side? Okay, so right now on the Jits Kings mats, they're going to have the match with Johnny Tama, who has been on fire, dude. So I will do my best to explain that to you. But he's going up against BB Monster, or I believe that is how do you call yourself BB Monster? It's like someone just couldn't figure out they wanted to call themselves like a jiu-jitsu blues artist. It's like, oh, I'll go by BB Monster.
It just what's it called? Scatting?
100% scatting.
Yeah, just scatting in your ear while he's grappling with you.
Absolutely. When in the middle he's teaching classes, he's like, first you get the boppity boo, and then you go, ba-da-ba-da-ba. That's how you get the sweep. And people go, bro, I don't want any part of this in my life. Thank you, though.
I quit.
I don't know how long I could stick around for somebody doing a ton of scatting on this evening.
I'll get nausea, bro.
Well, you're doing me a solid in coming on tonight, but I have to rely on you and ask you a couple questions. Number one, is the UFC on already? Because I'm in the process of also multitasking and putting it on my computer. My TV is being a dick.
Yeah, the first fight is about to start.
All
I
right.
gotta see the card. I don't even. Oh, it's Christian Aguilera is walking in right now.
Woo! I think Tama may be in on a. Oh, for a split second, he just got this kind of weird sweep where he just had the foot in hand, and it was beautiful to see, to the point where even his opponent just goes, "Yeah, that's pretty cool, dude." As they reset, and he continues to start passing from up top.
Did Roberto Jimenez grapple already?
Yes, and it was short and it was scary.
Really?
Yeah,
The
this
guy's
kid is
such a
too
killer.
good, man.
Yeah, he's a killer.
I'm like, how do you even say anything? Like, I'm not even surprised. I'm not crazy depressed by it. It's just, look at him. He's just really good at what he's doing. So it's really almost aggravating in a sense.
He's basically bred to do it.
Yeah.
In a way, he's just been training all his life, and he's now just one of the scariest grapplers in the world, and he still has years ahead of him.
Well, he's in that like, oops, I'm talented age.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, did I get really good at jiu-jitsu? Who knew?
Whoops.
So that is what's happening here. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and start putting it on my ESPN app. If I can remember what the hell my password is on this one.
I never remember.
Well, listen, dude, I got to sign into too many goddamn things.
I never remember my password, man, for anything.
Well, at this point, I normally have it just loaded on my TV, which is decided just to not, like, for whatever reason, my remote is just not moving.
Oh, man.
And I can't tell if it's, is it because did I move the TV? I mean, it turns on and off, so I can't tell you any more than that. I may have to go check on it in a few. But in the meantime, I am now putting it up on my computer that is in front of me while I have the matches on my iPad and you on my laptop here. It's a multi-tiered execution that we got going on here, man.
Dude, you're a veteran at this.
Trying to be, dude. It's what happens when you go, oh, am I doing both? Because if I'm doing both, I should really have a plan. And for the most part, I have kind of a plan. Which is always made worse by looking at your TV and going, listen, it would really help if you just kind of work with me here. Because the only reason I like you having that on the desktop is sometimes I can pull in things that are happening live on there. But I don't want to kill the expectations of what I need this thing to do.
Right now is Anthony Ivy versus Christian Aguilera is about to start.
Oh, shit, I need to see that one because Christian is a pal.
Ooh, it's going to be a good fight for sure.
Very excited for that. All right. Well, I think I might. Yes, I've got it. Okay.
Hell yeah.
If you guys are watching, you will have it on here. I'll go ahead and put it on as a marker on the StreamYard right now so that way you know throughout the evening who is fighting and why they're fighting. And we will do our best to go and tell you guys what is happening throughout the evening. So this is Chris. Nope, wrong pad.
Oh, Aguilera is a plus 165 underdog right now.
Have you seen him fight yet?
No, I haven't actually.
You will enjoy the way he fights. He is a violent man.
Those are my favorite types of fighters, man.
And he's 10p for L, dude.
Easy?
He is. He's with the guys out at Yama, so he's.
Ooh, okay.
He's essentially, we had somebody ask me in the comments. They're like Aguilera or Ivy, and I was like, one of them can find me easier than the other. So you take a guess.
Man, all right. I didn't know Aguilera's gang.
He is gang, my friend. So you got to rep. Otherwise, it's going to get back to Edgy Braj, and then you're going to be kicked out.
I know, right?
He's gonna be like, I heard on that one podcast you didn't like one of our own.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to kick you out, man. I hope you understand. It's just what it is, you know.
Then I had to go to Atos, man.
Oh my god. All right, round one starts 4:57 on my clock. Are you about there, sir?
Yep.
Excellent. All right, and then meanwhile on Jits Kings, they are still going long and strong over on their side. So we will do our best to multitask and keep you up to date. Right now, both of them feeling them out. You had for a split second Ivy going for a leg kick on Aguilera, who is taking the center of the octagon. One of the things that you really love to expect with one Christian Aguilera is how he's able to stay so composed, so relaxed, and yet watch his form and look at how powerful he is on each of those strikes.
He has a beautiful jab.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, underneath for a split second, Tama was starting to just try to get the weight distributed a little bit within X guard. Doesn't quite get anything going back over here. Back up top already, you start to see the Ivy starting to cover up just a little bit.
Early finish. Awesome.
That is great to see.
Gang.
On the side, though, we are taking a brief moment. The referee is talking to, I think it is BB Monster or BB Monster, about something. I think they're going into overtime, but I can't tell if he's injured. But the two, like, why do they not know what the rules are on this side of the world? It's a very strict. Like, I've seen people just going and saying, "What the fuck?" So now they're reset. It's overtime over on that match. We have a cheers that we need to send out to one Christian Aguilera. So let us take care of that. And I'll lead us off for this night since he is fam. This one goes on out to Christian Aguilera. Christian, you've always been a friend of the show. We're so happy that you made your debut in stellar fashion. They're playing the replay right now. And that look on your face is somebody who's deserved to be in the UFC for a good while. We're so stoked for you, dude. This cheers. Yeah. We'll do it in person a little bit later, but cheers to you, sir.
Cheers.
Wow.
What are you drinking?
Today, it is just what I got in the house. And what I got in the house today is Mango Cart because, well, I mean, it's fine. It's a summary like, yes, I'm sitting on my porch with my Mango Cart.
It's a good summer beer, it sounds like.
It is, dude. And you know what happened is I went to go cover a set of fights one day. Actually, no, I was off because I don't drink when I cover. But it was very weird. Somebody's like, "Do you want a beer at a fight?" And I go, "Oh, right, I'm not journalism today. I can do that." And they go, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, I can actually drink." And they're like, "What do you want?" And they had a Mango Cart. I was like, "Can you get me that?" And he's like, "Yeah." He comes back, gets me the Mango Cart, and I was just like, I can't tell if this is the most delicious beer to me now because I've never gotten to do this when I go see fights. Or if I just seriously love it because it's just hot as fuck here.
That happens.
You know, hey, man, I will tell you this. Getting to watch fights and relaxing is way different than some organizations that are like, "We want you to be a professional." And then you'll be like, "Okay, cool." And then I see like 3 other reporters drinking and I go,
Yeah. Oh man, it's just those nerves, man. Like World Series of Fighting, I had to get at least 2 shots of Jack Daniels before I started commentating, even though I know it's gonna bite me in the ass. But I was like, "Oh no, I'm too nervous. I'm gonna be on TV."
So this is fascinating. I'm now discovering on my remote that it will do up volume, off, and home, but it will not move side to side.
Oh man, that's
fuck.
The name of the game. Technical errors.
I may change batteries in a second. I may have you lead on this one, but just to fill people in, yes, we are, I believe, in overtime. There's no clock here, so it gets a little confusing, and you'll have to carry us on apologies if we're not giving you exactly what you're looking for on that. But you are seeing BB work his best to try and pass Tama's guard. His retention is money. Tama almost here, almost on a heel hook for a split second. Reaps, does not get the time, and now we're going to go, I think, to either points or a ref's decision, or are they resetting him back up there? Jesus Christ, they're resetting again? Motherfucker, dude. All right, well, that's what's happening down on that side. Let's see on ESPN. I'm going to see if I should probably have another set of headphones. This is actually way closer than being there. Oh, they use the transition time to let him go over. Bless them. Oh, I can hear myself. Okay, I'm going to mute that in a second. Aguilera says he feels great.
Awesome. Well, that's his UFC debut.
His UFC debut. He is now 14-6. This guy has been a monster in LFA, fighting out here for CXF, LXF now, if you would. Just beast. And my favorite is, like, one day I was like, "Bro, you just look like you're super violent and I wouldn't want to train with you." And he's like, "Oh, no, I'd be great." I was like, "I don't believe you."
Yeah, he looks like a sweetheart, but a fucking monster in the cage. Like, at the same time.
I think one of the last strikes he has in there is actually a slap. I think he did pop, and then was like, wah, bam, where the ref is like breaking it off. And it looked like, whoa, in an upset, we have BB Momolo that is going, or BB Monster, who is going to advance over Johnny Tama, who's been red hot in the past few weeks. So I don't know if you guys had that one on your list, but I don't think many of the people in our comment sections had it, just as a heads up. Man, that's intense. All right, let me see what else I got for us going on right now. You put up the YouTube link, which means I got to go check and make sure if people are saying stuff on YouTube while we have a few seconds to recalibrate. They are now sending out the sweep team, everybody mopping the mats, and they don't look like they're mopping really well or that there's literally no solution on it.
Oh, man, it's like the Puerto Rican MMA gyms, bro. Smells like feet over there, bro.
I got Chrisman 2012. Yay, Gian. I'm only here for G Baby. Okay, well, cool. Good to see you too.
Cool. Chrisman is his name?
It's X Risman 2020 or 2012.
Oh, sick.
So yes, you have brought your audience here. There's no good way to accept any part of this of being like, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a guest on someone else's show, so I don't want to say the wrong thing.
You can never go wrong, Raph. You're good. You're good.
I don't mind, dude. I just love when people comment in there. So no hard feelings, bud. I just hope that you're having a great evening and that you learn how to make better comments throughout this telecast. Here's an interesting thing that's going on right now. Genesis has a logo on Johnny Combs, our good friend, who's going to be going up against our other good friend, Jake Watson. And the shirt looks like the Metamoris triangle. So I don't know if that's intentional, but it definitely is somewhat weird to see on my side on this. Combs is making the run around to kind of warm up. He is now at center of the mat. He is on his left side. They're going to bring out Jake Watson, who is friend of the show, and coaching against Jake is another one of our panelists, Josh Leduc. So this should be interesting. What else do I got for you? Okay, so I'm going to need you to make sure that I do not overlook anything on the UFC. So
no, I got you, Doug.
Perfect.
There's nothing going on right now.
Yeah, I have it on my thing, and it just looks like some kickboxing in kind of an empty facility. Darren Branch is talking for Jessica I, which is great. And to fill you guys in, they're about to go ahead and make go in 3, 2, 1. They slap hands, and this is Jake Watson versus Johnny Combs. They're both two very tall human beings, white people, if you would. They are excellent humans in general. I don't really want to pick who I want to win on this one. So my apologies if you guys are expecting us to have any kind of preference on this one, because God damn it, they're both just amazing young kids. Meanwhile, I'm letting John work his lighting situation in the back. He'll return once he is back sitting down. Let's bring him back into the show.
All right. Yeah, just figuring out the whole lighting situation back here.
That is actually better. If it looks out of the frame,
yep, there you go.
Bueno, because it gives you a nice little glow there. You're going to be a fucking pretty princess in this thing, and you better shine.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I've just been listening to a lot of Oprah lately, and it's like, you got to find your inner being. And it's like, you know who Oprah sounds like that? It's essentially Joe Rogan. Add a girl to anything Joe Rogan says, and it's essentially Oprah.
Just give Oprah some DMT, and it's just Joe Rogan, bro.
Be like,
it's a cycle.
Tell me it doesn't sound weird if you heard Joe say, girl, have you ever tried that on DMT? You'd be like, man, that could be Oprah if she got really spiritual one weekend.
Yeah, for real, man.
To fill you in on what's going on underneath on the Jits Kings stream, you've got young Jake Watson trying to make a statement very quickly against John Combs. I'm sorry, it's Jake Watson. I'm not sure if I said that correctly. But Jake Watson was trying to go for all the legs here. He wants all the smoke from one John Combs. And I've rolled with John Combs. He is not an easy person to train with. This is a very difficult thing to keep him at bay for this long. I will also point out the fact that for whatever reason, I'm going to have to ask Watson about his leg. He is taped up, and now they reverse position as John Combs goes for an attack and ends up on bottom. Now we're going to get a second to see what Jake looks like up top. I'd also like to point out that our normal co-commentator, Josh LeDuc, could not look more bored during the match.
Are you serious?
Well, he's sitting there like this, and he's like, I have to coach. And I go, you do not look like you were coaching well. This does not bode with somebody who's like, man, I'm really getting in the process of coaching. It's a very difficult thing to do. It's like, no, bro, you're just sitting down.
He's using the Hickson Gracie approach to it.
Yes, 1,000,000%. And the two of them kept talking in our little chat and just being like, hey, bro, man, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, bro. I got to coach against you, bro. No, it's okay, bro. And I was like, fight. Stop loving each other on my fucking Instagram chat. Dicks.
Call each other names.
Well, I did start insinuating things about the two of them, so it's really not anything super crazy. John Combs now looking to get a knee through pass. He's being stretched out by Jake Watson. Nothing too crazy here. Jake inverts, tries to come underneath. You got John Combs putting in with a grip underneath the leg to go and keep him balanced. Nothing doing over there for Jake just yet. However, this is a good game plan for John Combs, I have to say. The two of them are very well matched. Jake now starting to get a little bit of inroads on being able to maybe invert, come up on top, and seeing if he can attack the leg. It's a very interesting proposition. Now, John Combs is starting to use that Comatine magic, trying to use it to come up on top. Jake is underneath. It could be a north-south situation. Do not let him sit back into it, Johnny Combs. He is close on a guillotine here, and he is going to get the tap from one Jake Watson.
Damn. You're really good at this, man.
I'm all right. Here's the thing. I would wish they would have gotten to meet each other in the finals. Yeah. I'm not in love with them having a first round match.
Oh, man. That always sucks. Like in any sport. Like you're like, oh, man, it would be such a dramatic final if they were to go against each other in the finals. But no, they had to ruin it with the first round.
Well, I'm also speaking as someone who is inherently biased in this.
Yeah.
So maybe you shouldn't listen to me, America, but at the very least, know that I think the world of both of these kids, and I'm kind of pissed that I didn't get to see it later on. It's my hope that they get to train with each other at a later time, because I just think both of them are valuable resources to the other's games. And I think that Combs, like, that's right in his wheelhouse. That is exactly playing into what he likes to do. So I'm both excited and sad at the same time. All right. Let me see what's happening over on the UFC side in a second. There's Nothing just a commercial. What commercials are you getting on your side?
The Microsoft Teams.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Meet, call, collaborate, safe and secure Microsoft Teams, even though I'm not sponsored from them.
What a great sell in there. I mean, go buy them if you want. I don't give a fuck. They don't pay my bills.
I don't mean either. If only, man.
I'm going to do the cheers because I can see this one as well. The next UFC that comes in, we'll have you do that cheers. But since I saw the John Combs and Jake Watson match, I'll go ahead and do this one out to our good friend, John Combs. John Combs, here's the cheers to you, sir. You know you're a friend of the show, but you beat up my friend. And I'm a little perplexed on how I'm supposed to do this. Because on the one hand, I wanted to be Switzerland and just let you guys fight it out. But yeah, somebody's got to win, so I'm happy it's you. I hope you continue on and you do great things. And of course, you're doing it with your stupid guillotine or your comatine, which is really good. And I hope people look at the instructional because it's actually got a lot of valuable information. It's on BJJ Fanatics. Anyway, I don't get a kickback, but cheers to you in the hopes that maybe you'll give me some money for doing that promo. Le Bouf.
Okay, I think the second fight's about to start pretty soon.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for the heads up. And just to fill you guys in again, I want to make sure if you guys are watching us live, do us a solid, give us some love, give us a share, give us a like. And if you do, we will cheers you on air because we are stand-up individuals.
Yep. For sure.
I thought this one was supposed to be Alan Sanchez versus Benji Silva. Is that Alan? Interesting. I have to look and see just to make sure here. Because I thought Alan came in with a different haircut, so.
Got to keep things exciting.
I mean, if he did get a haircut, props to him. I just wouldn't know because I'm too stupid. Up top. Let me just see if there's like maybe another super fight in between the middle of the two of them. It's entirely possible. I don't know what's going on. Yes, this is Corbin Saenz versus Tony Torres. Okay, that makes a lot more sense because I was like, yo, I know Alan. Ooh, nicely done. A submission over here. And his opponent is not looking good on that one. So I need a second to figure out. There was a medic who is running on over. I think she might be wearing shoes on the mat. And I'll get you the name of the gentleman who got that in just a second because we're going to have to also cheers him. I'm going to look to try and get you guys more information on if they are okay. But yes, that was a super fight between Corbin Saenz and Tony Torres. Ends in a submission. They've got everybody out there checking in. I'll update you as I find out more information. And are we at a UFC next yet?
Yes. So the second fight's about to start. Is with this K1 kickboxing champion who's 3-1 in MMA. I think his name is Adashev.
Let me see. This is as scientific as it gets, people. This is how I'm getting around my headphones being somewhere else at the moment. They're helping him out. He's able to get to his feet, so that's good. Tony Torres. Okay, so then we have a cheers that's in honor of his opponent, which would be Corbin Saenz. Okay, we'll get that in a second. And then that is Zacher. Is that his name?
The
opponent for the yes.
Yeah, I don't know his first name. His name is I just saw Adashev and I saw that he was a K1 kickboxer, 3-1 in MMA. He looks like he's probably like a prospect. Because they're hyping him up. They're not hyping the opponent up at all.
Man, I would say as somebody who's more savvy in media relations than as a fighter, I would be so pissed if I was about to fight somebody and I saw them hyping them and then being like, what about me?
Yeah,
what about Raven?
Yeah.
You dick.
Like what? I'm just some jobber to this guy.
Like, did you just decide midway through this that I'm the guy who's just supposed to be the Brooklyn Brawler to whoever he is? Screw you guys.
For real, dude. What am I, Kurt Hawkins?
Hey, here's what I got for you guys. This one is a cheers on out to Purple Belt. Corbin Saenz. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. But to you, Corbin, I want to say that was a nasty entry. You did a great job being able to surprise your opponent with that one. And I appreciate you stopping a minute you saw he was injured, checking in on him. But all credit to you where you got it, man. Big cheers to you. Congrats over on your Jits King win. All right.
You like my shitty nail polish?
So let me ask about that.
Yeah.
Did it just wear out or did you give up?
Both. Yeah, dude, it's high maintenance. Just started doing it, and I was just like, nope, it's not for me.
My wife will tell me about how hard it is, and I'll feel bad, and then immediately be like, oh, that sounds like a you problem. Like, I'll just look at her, and I'll be like, I'm glad, of course, you're doing it. And then one day she came in, got because she can't get her nails done, so she has to do it herself. And I guess she had a sticker on them, and I had a design. So she did it like that, and she looks at me and she goes, what do you think? And I go, oh, that's actually really dope. You did a great job. Props to you. And she's like, because I can't go get my nails done because COVID. And I was like, I know. Everything's because of COVID now.
I forgot about that, actually. I forgot that COVID existed for a slight 30 minutes.
No, never. Even though we have fights coming up all day long, COVID never goes away. Let me go ahead and fill you in right now. Over on the bottom part of the telecast, we have on Jits Kings. I can't call it Jits Kings. I want to call it Jits Kings because I like that better today. And you have Alan and Benji up. Benji is with the little Bam Bam-esque ponytail on his hair right now, while Alan is wearing a very, very black and yellowish, almost old school X-Men sort of vibe color rash guard right now. Almost reminiscent of OTM. I'd have to look to see, but it is a 10p. He is out is it at San Mateo or is he up in some other part of NorCal. I always forget.
I don't know, man. There's so many of us.
I mean, I was secretly hoping you could carry the load on that one.
I'm sorry, man. There's just so many. They're like a Latino family, really. Like you have cousins that you never heard of, and you're like, oh, remember Primo, this guy? And you're like, no, I never met him in my life, but he seems like a nice guy.
The worst part about having a Latino family like that is the fact that at a certain point, they remember you and you don't remember them.
Oh, for sure.
They'll see you when you're grown and be like, you remember me? And I'm like, I was 2.
Yeah, for real.
How would I remember you?
Bro, I barely remember who I talked to this morning.
Concussions are real, people.
For real,
Like, I don't know what to tell you. I hate to
CTE is for real.
but but there's definitely something that happened in my brain in the 2nd grade. So let's go ahead and put on this is Tyson Nam versus one Zakur Adashev. I think that's the best way to be. Is that how you say it?
I think so.
Or is it Zaruka or Zaruk? All right, whatever. I've given up.
Zach. Let's call him Zach.
So Adashev, I think I'm correct on. So I feel strongly on that one. So walk me through what both gentlemen are wearing and just a little bit of the tail of the tape, if you would be so kind, sir.
Yeah, for sure, man. They haven't really showed anything right now, but right now you got Nam wearing the black shorts, and then you got Adashev wearing the white shorts. Do you know which weight class this is?
I could get you that in just a second, but
Yeah.
I want to let you know on the bottom side for Jits Kings, you got Sanchez, who was deep in on a heel hook, had Benji grimace while he was transitioning out of it, and yet we are still continuing on with the action in that, and you're seeing Benji work from passing up top, so maybe the knee's a little affected, but he's doing a good job.
Oh my God, Nam just knocked him out, dude.
Ooh!
Oh my God, dude, Adashev is asleep still.
Let me also point out the beauty of this. Oh shit, yeah, he's definitely getting the best nap I've ever
Jesus
seen.
Christ. I was trying to look down for the tail of the tape and I just saw wham.
So I think the more surprising part of this is he knocked him out so hard. Not only did Herb Dean like chuck him off, like literally like threw him to the other side of the octagon.
Ooh,
but this is the first time I've ever seen somebody who goes out and cold curl up, and it looks like I think Herb Dean's about to put a blanket over him.
Jesus,
like,
dude, it was like a nasty right hook too.
Well, sir, I told you were going to get the next cheer, so this one belongs to you. Just a little background on it. Just give them, some good love. We usually try to make it to be about a good 20, 25 seconds of saying something nice about them. The floor is all yours, sir.
Well, Nam, you were the underdog. I didn't think you were going to win this fight either because they made you look like the Brooklyn Brawler out there. So cheers to you, Nam. That was a sick fucking KO. Thank you. Cheers.
I love this. No, you're good. I got you. I love the fact that he's still like reflecting over on the cage. Like, damn. Like, even I'm impressed with me right now.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
you can tell he's holding the emotions in.
Well, he's going through all of it, dude. I feel like it's one of those end of the movie reflection. Like, let's look back to the last hour and a half of that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Good times. And fade. Dad, I didn't know you're here. End of movie.
End of
Still going strong on the Sanchez and Benji fight. They may go to overtime in a split second. But man, that knockout was great. And it's beautiful. I can tell you're maybe like a split second ahead of me, and there is nothing that I felt you ruined for me because all I heard was ooh, and then I look up and I go, oh, it's something. Oh, and it just made me more excited to know something's coming.
At least I'm gonna do that now. I'm not gonna even say anything. I'm just gonna react.
Hey, listen, I'm a huge fan of any way you want to do it because to me, I'm so entertained by all of this. Benji now playing up top on Allen. Allen's able to kind of invert, use that nice tall guyism to get out of any kind of trouble that I usually hate whenever I'm trying to pass somebody. there you have it on that side. I think I'll give you an update on that in just a second. I'm going to see if I have my headphones so that I can hear in without hearing feedback on myself. Cover for me for just a second, sir. You have the floor.
Sounds good. So they just raised Nam's hand. He looks like he was actually pretty confident that he knew he was gonna win it. He's just walking away. If I was him, I'd probably act the same way. I'd probably go back to the locker room and probably just scream and probably even cry a little bit of how awesome that victory was. After that's gonna be Julia Vela versus Gina Mazzani. This is the fight that I'm actually looking forward to the most just because I am biased and my co-host from World Series of Fighting's sister. I remember watching her in The Ultimate Fighter, which is going to be pretty awesome to see her fight again. She was actually dropped from the UFC and back. She just got offered a contract again just for this event, actually. So it's pretty exciting to see her fight. She is also one of the main training partners of Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott is one of my personal favorites in the flyweight division. I thought he was almost going to fight. I thought he was going to win against Demetrius Johnson actually in that Ultimate Fighter finale. But yeah, I'm excited. So far, it looks like an advantage for Gina Mazzani, a reach advantage. They're both records. Julia Vela is at 7-1-0. Gina Mazzani is at 6-3-0. The height, Julia Vela is 5'6", and Gina's at 5'5", and Julia is actually a year older than Gina. So it's a pretty close matchup. I'm actually really excited about this. So of course I'm going to be biased and say I want Gina to win. I think it would probably be a submission because she is a 10 Planet Vegas member. Then after that's going to be a catch weight fight between, I don't know why it says catch weight when they're both 135. But yeah, it's going to be Merab Velashivili? That's a hard name. If I am ruining that name, please let me know how to pronounce it. And then you got Gustavo Lopez. They both almost have the same record. Merab is at 10-4-0, and you got Gustavo at 11-4-0. Merab is at 29. Gustavo's at 30. And then, yeah, they're both have almost the same height and almost the same reach. What's up?
All right. Hold on. There we go. Sorry about that. Thank you. I figured out what the hell was going on with my remote at the exact same time. Multitasking like a sumbitch over this way. So, okay. I didn't hear anything he said. Do you want to fill me in on what he told? I believe it was Paul Felder.
I couldn't hear Paul Felder, actually. I was just reading the tail of the tape of the next fight, actually.
No problem. What do we have to look forward in the next fight?
So it's actually Gina's going to be fighting against Avila next.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. And they're both very equal almost. When it comes to the record, I think Avila's the favorite, of course, at 7-1, and Gina's at 6-3.
Okay. Love it. Okay. Doing this. Boom. Now that it's posted up, and just to fill you guys in, Benji and Alan are just continuing to go. This was amazing. I want to go ahead and see if I could show you guys this in a minute. I'll see if I can pull it up for you guys. But I need to make sure that I invite myself using this link. But if I do this right, I should be able to show you guys the insanity that is one Roberto Jimenez, who not only beast, which we all know, but is doing things in a way that concern the rest of us who are older and maybe not as fast as this young man. Pull it up. There we go. All right. So hopefully I don't do any feedback on this. Alan is now using kind of a knee shield. Looks like he wants to pummel back in. Yes, they are still in overtime. We'll have an update on a winner, I think, shortly. So stay tuned for this. Benji's Bam Bam ponytail is not all the way out, and it looks like he's gesturing like he thinks he's going to be the winner on this. Could very well be. And he is going to get the win and move on.
So who won?
On that one, that is Benji.
Oh, okay. And Alan Sanchez is the guy from 10 Planet San Mateo?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
Oh,
He's a
well,
huge...
in theory.
In theory?
In theory. We don't know for sure.
Okay, okay.
Because if I say the wrong 10th planet, someone might get at me.
No, actually, he is a black belt under 10 Planet San Mateo.
Boom. I did know that much.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It is hard because sometimes you say shit and you just remember, like, is that true?
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. He's a 10 Planet San Mateo guy. How old is he? He's like really young, huh?
Oh, he's a baby. But to me, all of these children are children.
How old are you, Raph?
I am 37.
Oh, but dude, you look great for your age.
Thank you.
Of course, man.
Appreciate that. Yeah, no, I'm timeless is really what it comes down to. I don't want to put that up just yet, so I'm gonna hold on this, but I'm gonna show you. Let me see. It is Flow Grappling does have an update for us, and this way you can see what's up and why Roberto Jimenez is he the truth, kid. Look at this. All right, boom.
Oh man.
I like it doesn't even show you the full way in which he just beasted straight into it and just said, like, listen, dude, I want to end my night very quickly. Earlier in the night, I think this was just showing you guys a clip of DeGarmo's match. It says, everyone has been locked inside. We have wild animals finally being able to stretch by one Jimmy Dolan BJJ. Great insight. Like,
Jesus.
We have very weird people in our sport. And this was BB Monster MMA gets the last minute takedown to knock Johnny Tama off in now round one. And that's where you see him get it. So yes, the takedown is all the difference maker on this one.
BB Monster.
So meanwhile, elsewhere going on right now, you've got Ali Taza coming up. So Ali Taza has been a favorite for a lot of people. Is this live right now on UFC?
No, that's just
these are highlights, right?
Yeah, highlights.
Thank you. For a split second, I was like, "Oh, I'm just looking down, and I think we've got time." And oh shit, no!
No, I'm watching carefully. I'll let you know.
For
sure.
Like I said, so what ends up happening is I saw on here because the little Alexa button was pushed, it wouldn't make the rest of it go.
Oh, so you figured it out then?
I did. It took me a second. But it really pissed me off that it like took for me to be like, God damn, you work. And I took out the batteries, placed them with new batteries, and it's like, nah, same problem. And I realized that my like thing was trying to tell me, it's like, tell Alexa whatever you want. And I was like, I don't want to.
Tell Alexa, damn you, Alexa, I can't do that function yet.
There's just like, it's like trying to come to you and say like, just whisper what's wrong to Alexa and Alexa will take care of it. I was like, no, I'm trying to do it myself. Shut the fuck up. Like, why are you being all weird to me right now?
That's the next stage of becoming a boomer, bro.
It's not even becoming a boomer. You know what it is? I'm more technically savvy than most of the people I fucking work with on this show. And I'm old. Like, no shade to one Jake Watson, but one day when we had a UFC pay-per-view on, he was like, wait, where does this air? And I was like, on pay-per-view. And he goes, and how do I do that? And I was like, you're out of the group, Jake. Like, I just voted you out. You're done.
All in favor, say aye. And then you just take him out before anyone said aye.
Update. Ali Taza is slowly trying to work. He's got the ability. He's close on a heel hook, and he's there. I think he should have this. His opponent is grabbing his arms to try and prolong the inevitable. He's rolling out very quickly. He's going now into the stands, and I think it's JJ Wilson that literally just pushed on him like, no, my child, you must have to submit to this. Now they're resetting them back on over, and it does like, no, you're not going to stand him up. Fuck off. That's the stupidest rule. He's going to get like the IBJJF points, I think is what it's coming down to. And I still don't see those points reflected on the board just yet. So that's annoying. So Ali Kaza is now still continuing to work from underneath. Don't see any points.
So is it like IBJJF rules?
Honestly, dude, I didn't even know I was going to be watching Jits Kings tonight. It was kind of a last-minute decision. So when you asked, you're like, what time are you starting? I was like, I don't know. The hard part is, once I start, there's no getting off the train.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're just literally committed to starting. So you have to be 1,000,000% in on going when you go, and then saying like, well, here I am. Let's keep going. Let's do this thing. And the hard part about it is, I was like, do I really want to do Jits Kings? And then I said, you know what? They've got a fucking monster tournament that I really don't see anybody else doing a 16-man like this. Like, that makes me excited. And of course, you got the element of Jake competing, and we've got lots of friends in this one. So yeah, I've got a vested interest in seeing this.
Oh yeah. But what I was asking is that the rule set is like IBJJF?
Yeah, but that's the answer is, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
From me looking at it and saying, like, I guess I'll watch it, and then being on air and going like, well, let's figure out the rules together, everybody.
I respect that.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you like, hey man, I'm king rules here. I know.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody has a better way of telling me what the hell's going on, then all power to them. But at the press moment, it does look like you are seeing Ali Taza not super frustrated, but now he stands up. They switch positions, and now Ali Taza is going to get the opportunity to go and start trying to pass a little bit up there, while Gabriel Castro is doing his best to try and get an overhook on the head. Isn't quite getting much here. For a split second, is going to try with his own leg attack. Nothing for. Ali Taza tries to go for an over-under pass. Now, when you see Gabriel go in for a shot, gets rejected. The two of them are running outside. The referee at this point is just looking out and saying, like, bro, can we not do this? And I do believe his coach is telling him, chill down. Down a notch.
Man. There's a lot of commercials in this prelims, man.
Oh, yeah, bro. That's the hardest part about this. We are going to be in commercial central for a bit tonight.
So it was actually a perfect timing to do the Jits King too.
Yeah, I mean, listen, dude, this is the easier part. Is Jits Kings has a certain rhythm to the evening, so it's a little bit easier to kind of see how it's all coming along. Yeah. It just gets a little bit harder once things become more involved, as like right now, as you see Ali Taza again back on over on the leg, close on a heel hook. He may be able to get on Gabriel over here as he just tries to yank out the leg. That leg, he's grabbing the arms to try and prevent it from closing on up. He may go to 50-50 over on this side. Now instead, Ali Taza is still working, now trying the other side version of it, and he might have some time to work here. Gabriel just tries to cup the leg. He's going to spin back out because apparently you can do whatever the fuck you want once you spin around. And there's an opportunity now. He's able to kind of shift his way out of it is the best way to describe it. He literally just back steps out of a heel hook, which wish could. However, Ali Taza right back into the contention of doing it. As you see, he's going from half, has an underhook underneath, and the referee is telling him with 14 seconds left to go, something that prevented them from doing anything, and now it's not really mattering because we're going to go to a time expiration with 4 seconds left to go, and we're going to go to overtime for the both of them. And up top, it looks like we are preparing to find out more information about the two individuals fighting on the UFC. Can you tell me anything about what is going on? Because wait, that's a later in the night sort of a deal?
That's the main event of the prelims. You know what I mean? Like the main prelim. It's Robertson versus Vittori. And they had like some bad blood actually backstage. There's some footage of them on Instagram of them like arguing. So it looks like Robertson's the favorite. Vittori, I don't really know much about him actually. Do you know much about Vittori?
Not as much. I would have to get a couple minutes to kind of go back through on the backlog on him. But I heard about it, and I just try not to pay too much attention to drama. But I heard it was like, did one of them miss weight? Was where part of it stemmed from? Or
yeah,
was it something else?
I think so, actually. Let me see. I was actually talking about it. I'm spacing out so much right now. Let me see. Vittori. Where is that?
This is interesting. Taza's still now in this kind of like extended leg attack, and Gabriel's been just not carrying it. A split second, it looked like he was going to try and counter with his own, and just doesn't seem to go through with it. He's more interested in trying to let Taza play his game and maybe counter off of it a little bit. So this is where it could get very dangerous. If he's able to come up and pass, he will get the points that he needs to go ahead and advance on this.
Oh, so the Carl Robertson Vettori is the co-main event.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's 185 pounds. And yeah, so it looks like Vettori is like more experienced at 14-4-1, and Carl Robertson is like a prospect at 9-2.
Oh my goodness. So this is kind of weird, dude. It looks like I think Ollie ended up getting a knee bar in transition, and he gestured something over to his opponent, and his opponent, like, yeah, this is really confusing. He's trying to like extend his hand as to say like, hey man, good job. But I think there was some either between the exchanges on the two of them or just the fact that he was rolling out and they kept like repositioning them in ways that they should have been repositioned. It doesn't look like your most sportsman-like exit, just in terms of how it's finishing. And I don't know that I necessarily even blame Ollie Taz on that, because it seemed something happened there that I don't have the full authority to tell you.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, I don't know. It just looked a little weird. And I don't think that Ollie's like, I never want to send you a Christmas card ever again. I just think he wants to have his distance. Like, hey, man, the whole thing was weird, you know?
Yeah. It's understandable. He's just probably frustrated.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It could possibly not even be situational to what he was doing, but it's just weird. It's very strange because I know Ollie pretty well, and Ollie's usually really like sportsman-like. He's a very nice guy. And now you got a young William Tackett's brother, Andrew Tackett, blue belt, who's getting a super fight right now.
Oh man, is he like what's his name, Nicky Rob type of blue belt or what?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so hard to tell you exactly how much of a package deal you get when you get both Andrew and William on the same show, but the two of these kids are monsters, man. They're the truth. And the fact that he's being a blue belt and he's going out there and murdering people, I think today he gets a test against a purple belt, because why the fuck not?
Sky's the limit, man.
I mean, he's got the hunger of a young kid who wants to prove himself and do big things, and that can only spell disaster, because that just means they're just going to try and murder you. They don't care. And this is Cal Mateus, or Matthias, I guess. I don't know how you say it, but I'm saying Mateus. There's an early pull to guard from one Andrew Tackett, who's already starting to work on a triangle, maybe in on this. He's able to start cinching this up. I got to write the names of our next opponents for the UFC. He is close in, scoops underneath the legs, still has the legs locked, maybe able to go and maybe even start messing with the arm at this point. This is no bueno. He's doing the arm reinforcement around it, and now Andrew is able to extend the arm, puts it over to the side, gets the tap.
Damn.
Woo!
That sounds so exciting, actually.
I mean, listen, there's a reason why at first I was like, am I going to watch this? And then I was like, why would I not watch this? That's a stupid thing to say, Raph. So anyway, if you guys are just tuning in, send us your comments, questions, hints, concerns. I'm going to be doing my best to try and implement all the comments that you guys have in the comment section into the broadcast. We are watching Jits Kings. We are also on hold in between fights over on the main UFC preliminary card. Very excited to have you here. Giancarlo, the host of Cover Your Mouth and Nasty and the Baby, joining us here today. An excellent commentator and fellow podcaster in our world. And just stoked to have you here, sir.
I appreciate those words, Raph. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. You're part of the brotherhood now. There's a whole bunch of us. Literally everybody has a podcast. So
yeah, for real. Especially in LA, huh?
It's not just in LA. It's just look at what the pandemic did to everybody who has a podcast. And I don't know if I told you this, but I think I wanted to put up a status that was like, half of y'all ain't even going to be podcasting in 6 months.
That's so hilarious. It's true though. It's like there was nothing else to do during that quarantine. Unless now you're in Texas.
Listen, do whatever the fuck you want. But
Yeah.
I just like the fact that we have some of these guys being like, oh man, I did like 3 podcasts and it's crazy, bro. And it's like, what? Shut up. You did 3. Like, yeah, tough job. You made it a whole week and a half of doing shows.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it looks.
It's, and I'm sure as you find,
yeah,
scheduling is one part of it, editing's another part of it, making it different than everybody else is a part of it. There's so many little magical things. So I've just learned over the years that, like, I just try to celebrate what makes everybody different and saying, there's plenty of space for those of us who are going to be here week in and week out, because it is usually thankless. But when it's on and it's fun, holy fuck, is it fun?
Oh, for real. I think the key is just being consistent.
Yeah.
Just being consistent and just try to be yourself, really. Because if you're not, it's just people can see, like, they can listen right through it if you're not yourself.
Yep. So we are now going to be at the top of the second portion of the bracket, aka round 2 over at Jits Kings. So to fill you guys in, we will be able to tell you who that is in just a second. It is going to be JB versus Pedro Moreno, and they start right now on their side. We're going to have a fight coming up very shortly over on the UFC, and that next fight, I believe, is between Julia Vela and Gina Mazzani. Is that correct?
Yep.
Or is it Gina Mazzani or Mazzani?
I said Mazzani.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dave told me Mazzani, so yeah, it's Mazzani.
I also never believe people too. So, there is just like literally Pedro up on top right now, just shoves his way into passing guard.
Like a G.
So like he's literally working a pass, dude's on bottom, and then all of a sudden just kind of like steamrolls him. Now is working his way over to the back, may be able to start locking up this rear naked choke. It's more of a face crank right now, but he's going to be able to drag him down. There's going to be an emphasis on trying to get his weight distributed so that he can bring him on over. There's a transition over the side, and now continuing back on a face crank. It's there. The mechanics are there. He just needs a little more time to straighten it out. As he takes the ability to crab ride on over, they make their way over to the scorecard, and they kick over to the poor scorecard now. No! How are we supposed to know what's going on?
Oh, man.
And they reset them back up top. I just always tell people, like, listen, do whatever the fuck you want, but if you break a TV, there's no money that's going to anybody who wins this thing tonight.
There was a time where I was commentating at WSOF, and Kit Dale was grappling against Marcelo Nunez, and it was a point that Kit Dale was about to do a takedown, and the takedown was about to be off the stage because there was nothing protecting us as commentators because the table's like right there, and I was like, wow, I'm gonna get tackled. And no, there will be no commentating team for the rest of the night.
I have a saying that when I am doing commentary or photos, if they hit me, I will no longer be nice to them. If they hit me while I'm taking photos, no photos of them. So there was a time when I think I did a heavyweight thing, and I'm Matt's side. There's no barricade, nothing blocking them. And I just literally stared at these big guys like, I can't really beat you guys up, but watch me try if you hit me.
I will put up at least a little bit of a fight.
I'm not saying I'm good at anything. I'm just resourceful and way more vindictive. So I use the hate in my heart as an extra amount of jet fuel that can propel me to Joe Pesci-esque success against some of the most aggravated people you will ever see. So yeah, not because my form's good, just because I refuse to be squashed by big guys who don't know their fucking space.
By the way, Julia Vela is walking in right now to the cage.
Beautiful. I've got that now posted underneath, so we should be able to tell which fight it is. Meanwhile, underneath, we still have Pedro and we still have JB going strong over on their side. It's been a little bit of the same. The chorus goes like this. Basically, you've got Pedro working to pass aggressively. He almost shoves his way again past side control as he works through JB's guard retention. And it seems he just starts trying to leap through a number of different positions as if just trying to land as if he's past the guard. So that's what we've got going on. And I believe they're finishing the walkouts over on the UFC side. Is that correct?
Yep. Now they're about to announce the names. The tell the tape. 6'8", 6.5, 135, 136. I think it's a favor of it's just so evenly matched though. Like I think Gina has like a reach advantage of like 0.5.
Nice.
Yeah.
That always makes me excited to see whenever somebody's like that close on that, because I don't know, man. Whenever you have like training camps or you yourself are in your gym, you always notice that you're like that guy at that size. Nobody has your reach or your size. You're just, oh, I need a so-and-so. Raph's that size. Go with him. And I'll be like, am I? Like, they used to like lump me in. They go, well, Raph, you and this other guy, you're both over 200 pounds. And I was like, no, I'm not.
That is such an insult.
Yeah, they would just be like, hey, this guy's like about 230. You're about the same size. And I was like, I'm not close to that.
Well, it's the same thing because like right now I'm weighing in like I'm like 145 pounds wet and I'm like 5'4". And anytime they're like, oh, we need to pair someone your size, and it would be someone that's like maybe 90 pounds and like 5 feet. And I'm like, wow, I'm not that small, guys, but okay. At least I'm not hurting my back with the heavyweights.
Listen, it's understandable.
Yeah.
It's just, I would also recommend right now doesn't really make sense forever. It's just what's happening right now. I'm not trying to hold myself to some kind of beautiful standard of, man, my weight is on point right now.
Oh, man.
Ooh, they are always going, sir.
Damn.
Oh my
that
gosh.
Was fast.
Avelia was in Rock'em Sock'em mode.
Jesus, that was like your spirit animal that you were discussing if you were fighting one of those heavyweights, dude.
Absolutely. I wish I was like that. She might have been doing like the Xena Princess Warrior yell as she was doing it. And just, the whole time. I'm watching the replay right now, and it's just her going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I would say about 17 of those landed. So,
bro, she looks like she's beating her for lunch money. It's ridiculous.
It's like there are sometimes that there are fights, and then there are sometimes reckonings that look like a reckoning. So you, sir, I'll go ahead and let you take the cheers on this one.
Well, Vela, you shut me up. You're scary as hell. And to tell you the truth, if I ever see you at a bar, I will not mess with you or even ask you for a picture because of how much you scare me. So cheers, Jessica. That was awesome.
I mean, it's just the follow through. It looked like at no point did you see Gina say like, yeah, I want to get back into this.
Oh man. Like that's just like, I'm going to act. Well, I'm just so like startled. I feel like that's going to be me as soon as I get back on the mats.
If that is you, can I make a request?
Yes. Yes.
If that is going to happen, I want to basically ask a question and a request, and the question and the request are one and the same. And it's, can you make, it doesn't have to be the Xena Warrior Princess version of it, but can you make almost the William Wallace, just like, you just go, ah, like just scream your way into the first roll back.
I'll just do like a high pitched scream, like, ah! I just started grappling while I'm like, yeah, bro, for sure. I'll even ask Nate to record it.
Let me see here. Margaret Colton Watson says, your commentary was great. Tomorrow's another day. Absolutely, Margaret. Hey, you know, the great thing about our good friend, young Jake Watson, is that this kid has so much future ahead of him. And like I said, if he's going to lose to anybody, John Combs is a very stand-up human being. I love the shit out of both of them. She also says, LL, I'm 70 and can order from pay-per-view. Jake is so much fun, and like you would be laughing about it as I am. Yeah, I mean, that's the hard part to me is I don't have that competitive thing like most people do. Like, I'm usually pretty jokey about it after, like, oh man, I suck. Like, that's how I take things. And already on his Instagram, Watson has I'll see if I can pull it up. I think it's pretty funny. But he's already got a very funny meme that he's put up as a result of how his night went. And let me see here. I got to go and call up Jake Watson. So yes, in total agreement. And I already look forward to Jake being on our next show, but he's too busy competing all the time. This kid's always on a tournament or always competing somewhere. It's exhausting keeping up with him and his travel.
It must be nice to be that lifestyle.
I mean, I think so. I think it's also, you get to that point where that's just what you do. So this is what he has. And just to let you guys know, yes, this is a very exciting fight that's going on underneath. This is one Roberto Jimenez versus one William Tackett. So get excited for that match. While I go and narrate you guys through this one, this is the meme that you've got right now. And it said, there's an old saying in show business, the show must go wrong. Everything always goes wrong, and you just have to deal with it. And Jake says, me, RN, as in right now. Woo! This is very beautiful to see. There's just a ton of rolling between the two of them into different positions, as it looked like for a split second, young William Tackett is doing his best to go ahead and try and pull some kind of leg underhook into some sort of disorienting balance for one Roberto Jimenez. However, Roberto's perfect posture and control is keeping him not just safe, but on the outlook for one head and arm choke if he's able to move his body posture, if he can do so. Young William Tackett raising an elbow to try and get some distance between the two of them. But this is a lot of pressure that's being applied to one young Roberto from young Roberto. It's hard to say. They're both young. I don't know what else to call them.
I know, right? Hey,
they're both just children compared to me.
Yo, I'll be right back and go get another beer.
Go for it, dude. I'll go ahead and cover. And to let you guys know, as this is happening, we love you guys. We appreciate you joining us. It is always fun to have you joining us on fight nights. It is a blast so far. The two of them are now kind of resetting a little bit more into traditional passing. Roberto has hands on both of the legs, trying to push them down. William Tackett doing a good job of following him around and tracing just kind of the areas in which Roberto is moving. And this is very, very difficult to pull off. Chrisman 2012 says, crazy card so far. You are not shitting us, my friend. This is a really good card on the UFC. Also on Jits Kings. I've been very pleased with everything that I've seen progress thus far in. All right. Continuing on, 3:36 left to go in the match between William Tackett and Roberto Jimenez. Roberto consistently just like stalking his prey here, seeing if he can find a way in. However, it is very difficult. Swats around young William Tackett's head. Goes off because he has no hair to really grab. Both of them have very short hair at this point, so that's got to be a very, very bad deterrent for getting any kind of grips, even if you're just trying to secure a head grip to break down posture. Yep, as William Tackett tries to do the same, grabbed around the back of the head as you've got up top, Roberto trying to pass, nothing doing. Roberto makes a slide in. There is a knee in from Tackett, who is trying with all of his might to pull on Jimenez's leg. Jimenez has a split second to maybe now start turning that attempt to take a knee bar or bring the leg with him and maybe attack the back. Now Williams trying to disorient the weight, isn't quite there 100%. Roberto is very, very good, though, in terms of getting that head-arm control. It's not quite a head-arm takedown or a back take, but at this point, the two of them just exchanging continuous positions here. Now you're seeing over on a very dangerous attack on the legs from William Tackett, Roberto slowing the process down as best he can. Now, as you see, William Tackett is trying to get kind of a leg entanglement here. Roberto, for a split second, I thought was about to tap. instead is not tapping, is just kind of recalibrating, maybe pushing the leg down, very calm and composed, and just kind of almost seeing how you'll find William Tackett is approaching this almost Texas cloverleaf kind of like transition here. William is just folding the arms in, nothing doing there from Roberto. And now he's grabbing his leg almost to try and position himself back up top. And now he's rolling, continuously rolling. William now just trying to fold in his arms and see what he can do to maybe get any kind of reaction out of Roberto, which is not really happening on his side. He may switch it on over to attack with maybe a toe hold. Roberto getting on his right arm, pulling him back up as if to say, like, bro, don't fucking attack my legs here. That's really rude of you. William stiff arming his jaw away from him and now continuing on with this leg lace attack here. This is exhausting. These two are too young. I'll say it again. This is like, but it's a very short game of inches here. And Roberto trying to squeeze out of it. Now maybe coming in with a leg attack of his own on William Tackett, who's going to come in for a heel hook. The two of them are exchanging here. It looked like for a split second, again, Roberto did not tap, but it looked like I did for him. My apologies for any of you who are watching this and wondering what the hell is going on. It is just the transition of positions that we are in between these two. Now Roberto starting to get his bearings up. His knee is underhooked by William Tackett, skates it out, and now is pushing up against the edges of the mat. The two of them will probably reset in just a split second as they bring them back on over to the center of the mats. Now, you're just hearing me explain all of this, but do you have any questions I can explain to you? Because it is intense.
I mean, I can just feel how intense it is.
It's making my blood pressure go up ever so slightly. Roberto now kind of has that north-south on William Tackett, who tried to bring the legs over to go ahead and take the back. Nothing doing there. Maybe making the frames to go ahead and kind of swing his legs around. Nothing in doing there as well. Now, slowly but surely, the ref lets them know the time has expired. And I wonder if that pass at the very end would be good enough to maybe give a decision, or are they going to go to overtime?
Yeah.
We are at a decision, and it is going to be an advancement by one Roberto Jimenez. And I want to know if it was just that pass or something else. I'll have to go and see what they said, because I could have missed something. My apologies if I did or did not. I don't really care. Boom.
Damn, bro. I feel like if you were like in the 1940s, you would be such a good hype man in a radio like show, because I got so excited. I was like, please, what happens?
It's crazy to think about it, because you really are telling people this story. I mean, that's the one thing that we try to do is, listen, I know you guys want an illegal stream, and you can find it somewhere else. But just know that just short of showing you the matches, I'll take you there. It's just, I'm not going to have my stream go down because you're poor.
Yeah. Just be crafty like every one of us, man.
I saw somebody do a fight companion last week for the pay-per-view on UFC, and they just did it like it was a ghost in the stream. And I was like, that's kind of cheap. Now, granted, everybody else can do what they want. I'm just trying to do it in the stand-up version, and the stand-up version comes with a lot of fucking annoyingness of trying to do the right thing and being like, ugh, I want to just show it to you guys, but there's nobody that does this good. So anyway, that's our little rant on our side. It does look like Felder is just kind of in the middle of chatting right now. They're just killing time. Yeah,
they're just analyzing to just like the fights and the striking, the footwork.
Nice.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I was just like, when you invited me to do the fight companion, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna finally subscribe to ESPN Plus.
Well, I feel bad because I did invite you to come on one previously, and you were like, "Oh, I don't really have it." I was like, "Well, that's the game, dude."
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I wouldn't volunteer you to do a pay-per-view unless I knew your business and that you were doing it on your own. Yeah. Because I think volunteering someone to pay a bunch of money that like is just like, well, I'm paying for it, you should too.
Yeah. For real, because right now I'm in my 20s, so like whenever I have a pay-per-view on in my house, it's because there's a bunch of people pitching in right now.
I get it, dude. I used to do the exact same.
Yeah.
Now I'm just to the point where I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. I wasn't going anywhere before the UFC had to make these pandemic-centric shows, and now they're starting with one John Combs, who's very, very stalker-like with his posture and his pacing over on this match that they've got going on. That's what's happening down below. We are also watching the UFC. If you're just joining us, thank you very much. We appreciate your time and your considerations. And you've got John Combs taking on BB Monster. And in this one, Combs is kind of smiling, which is nice to see, but he is all business. This dude is usually about 6'2", 6'3" regularly, but watching him in this match, he is crouched down like he is 5'3". He just does an aggressive shove against BB Monster, pulls him down, nothing doing. They reset back over the center of everything.
It's crazy. I could be 5'3" just by standing normally. My posture sucks.
Bro, I know. I just tell people, I'm like, I just try to keep my posture up when I'm really concentrating on it, but half the time I'm just like, dude, I just want to be relaxed. I don't want to.
You know, it's funny because only when I do stand up is when my posture is just perfect. And because, like, you know, I'm a showman. And then all of a sudden, when I'm down off the stage, I'm like, all right, time to be the pathetic little piece of shit that I am and just curl up again.
I mean, I'll say this too. A lot of it tends to be your stage persona. It carries a different way. Like sometimes the way that you perform is not the same posture you have when you get off.
Oh, for real.
And, you know, some people are more comfortable having a different posture. I don't think Chris Rock paces around every second of every day.
Oh, no.
Just, like, storming a stage. I think like half the time he's like, that's just how I do my thing. And I get energetic throughout.
For real, because I'm extremely extroverted on stage. But like outside of like stage time, I'm just like, please don't talk to me. I'm just trying to have a beer. I just want to smoke some weed and just relax.
But that's the hidden drama of the whole thing. A lot of people, they love the idea of being like, dude, you smoke. I want to smoke out too. Let's just smoke, bro.
Yeah.
So it's a very inviting thing to a number of people.
I know, and I'm like, no, man, I don't even like people.
Yeah. For you, I sometimes say that hosting a podcast is an experiment in being like, hey, if I don't do this, I'm not social. And I think in your case, it's just kind of like, I hate people, but I am going to interview them. So I guess I'll like them. So it's almost like you're kind of a robot that we programmed to have feelings.
Yeah, for real, man. It's like, oh, I hate people, but as soon as they sit in front of me one-to-one, I'm like, so tell me, what is your life experience? Have you ever done this, and that? And just get through a deep conversation. And as soon as they're gone, I'm like, oh, thank God. But during the conversation, I'm like, I'm enjoying this. It's like doing the dishes. You dread doing the dishes, but when you're doing it, it's like, oh, it's not so bad.
Good for you. I find that my doing of the dishes is my time to listen to other shows. So I'll put on like a podcast or something and start to do them. And then as I'm doing them, go, it will force me not to produce the show in my head. Because a lot of times if I listen to another show, I'll usually be like, let's get there. Let's do this already. Bring this guest on. No, shut up. You talk too much. You don't talk at all. Figure this out. So usually if I'm doing the dishes, I'm just kind of like, this stain isn't coming out.
Maybe if I scrub a little bit harder with intention.
Oh, that's a really interesting story. I'm way more of a pleasant person, I'm sure, but I've called Kevin when I've listened to a couple podcasts. I won't reveal whose or what, but when I've called him and just been like, what the fuck is this? This isn't a show. The fuck, dude? This was 40 minutes. They didn't even have a point. This was stupid.
Yeah. Have you watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yes.
Oh, dude. There was this one episode, like you said, I'm not gonna like say which episode it was, but as soon as I was done with it and I edited it and I just like published it, I went like I could have sworn I went to the bathroom and I was like, you're such a piece of shit. This could have been such a way better episode, and you had to ruin it with this like cookie cutter bullshit questions.
And it's hard because listen, again, doing this is way different than doing it theoretically. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you just kind of skate by the skin of your teeth on some of these interviews. So I get it, but like I don't just listen to one episode of somebody. So Usually, if it's gotten me thinking about it, I'm like, how is this the 5th time they're doing this? Oh, no one told them.
Yeah.
Oh, comes in on a guillotine, has to give it up, but instead now is going to work from underneath. For a split second, had a triangle going on, and you see BB start to posture out of it. The fuck, dude? He's able to just literally push down on Combs' sternum just to get out of the triangle. Wish I could. Now is stalking Combs' back, in it working in kind of like a Khabib-esque way of passing, but Combs regards him, and the ref puts them back to the center of the mats.
Ooh.
Tiring. No, thank you. It's just half the time I look at these guys and I'm like, I don't know where they get this energy from. It sounds like a great thing in theory, but no.
Yeah, for me, it's like, man, I look at them, I'm like, oh, I could be like that, but then I'm like, oh, but I love beer and I love pizza, and I just don't want to, like, I have other things going on too, you know?
I think it's just a matter of what your goals are. If
Yeah,
your
for
goal
real.
is to do that, you're gonna find a way to do it.
Oh, for
You're
sure.
really destined to do it. But if your goal is to not do that and do other things, then guess what? Those things are going to be more important to you. That's
Yeah,
why it's
for real.
so funny when people are discussing their competing plans. I'm always like, cool, yeah, go do it. They're like, dude, you gotta get in and compete at this. And I was like, no, I don't. And they're like, well, it's really good for you. And I was like, I'm sure, but I'm too busy trying to be the best at this.
Yeah, for
Get
real.
that on. I'm gonna try and be the best at that, and I don't want to do that. I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it's funny because it's like, oh, like I really want to get a black belt, but then at the same time, it's like, you know what? I don't have to rush into this. I'm just gonna go at my own pace, do what I can, and just be the best me that I can be. And then if I get belted, great. If not, even better, because then I can just be a really good that colored belt.
love it. Yeah, I mean, I put it this way: I'm just gonna exhaust them into giving me a belt.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the way it is.
I don't think I'm gonna get it because I'm like highly talented. I think they're just gonna give up one day and be like, "Fuck it."
This is the best thing you can be at this rank.
And then I'm gonna go, "Yay! I did it! Yay! Look at me!" Like, I will take their trash belt that they throw at me, and I will treat it as if it is the most prime possession. I'm gonna be like, "Yay! Thank you!" They're like, "Shut up, dude. It's not because you're good. It's just because you bored us enough to giving it to you."
It's like buffet food, but like at a really shitty buffet. It's like, oh, these are actually the leftovers.
That's amazing. I always just tell people, like, have a good sense of self, like know that what it means to you and you'll get more out of it.
For real.
Look at this. They're interviewing Christian Aguilar right now. Lauren Sanko has him backstage and he's saying, it's like what I always dreamed of. Yay. Just let you guys know, BB Monster did advance over John Combs. I think it was by points.
Hell yeah. Baby Monster! I'm just going to keep saying that until he wins the whole thing.
I mean, listen, it looks like it's between him and Jimenez right now, and Jimenez is looking on fire.
Oh, man.
That's not to say we've also got some other people to see how it'll play out on their side, because Alan Sanchez has to go over against, I believe it's Ali Taza, so that'll be interesting to see how that one plays out in just a second after they get back from their break.
I'm like watching Christian Aguilera like a proud distant cousin. I'm like, yeah, you do that, bro. You get that spotlight. I don't know you, but you don't know me, but I'm proud of you.
But like, do you really think of it from this perspective that like Julia and Christian go into a bar and just wreck shop? like that's the kind of people that you need to like get people out of a bar at night. They just come in like, hey, last call, and people are like, fuck you, we'll leave when we're good and ready. And you just send the two of them out there just like this the whole time, and they're like, I'm sorry, I'll get out of here.
Bro, if a guy like that tells me, hey man, last call, I would already feel like, wow, my life is in danger. I need to call a lift as soon as possible. If not, this person's gonna hurt my feelings before he hurts me instead.
My apologies. I did say that Alan Sanchez is going. That is inaccurate. It's actually Benji Silva. I completely forgot, just mostly because I remembered that Alan Sanchez was doing the majority of the work in the match. No shade, just saying. But Ali Taza is going to be his opponent.
I love it. No shade.
It's like, what is it? It's like when people said like no homo. It was just like, ooh, this protects me. It's like, it's not gonna protect me. It's just letting you know. That's what I thought of the fucking match. If somebody has an issue with it, then come talk to me about it. But the issue is, it's like everybody takes every little like micro thing as to an extreme, whereas what we're saying is, if you leave it to a perception based result, there will be differences in opinion. Sure. And that's not necessarily bad. So don't make it seem that way. And I think, Olitaza just did quick work on Benji Silva. Literally pulls the leg in, has it in his pocket, looks over at Benji, who already starts to flinch on it, and then literally has enough time while in that position to go, that's impressive. Let me go ahead and do this. Cheers on over then to one Olitaza. Olitaza, you're a friend of the show. We sincerely love the hell out of you, bud. That was a great, great finish. You made that look so effortless. I want to be able to do that. Can you teach me how to do that? How much do you charge? Because if it's too much, I'm not going to do it. But here's the thing. You've been on the show. You're a friend of the show. I'm happy to see you doing well tonight. We look forward to seeing what else comes in store your way tonight and forever. Much cheers to you, sir, on a nice finish there.
Cheers.
So now what they've done is they've put Jake Watson on commentary. So I don't know what kind of wrong series of events you've needed to have Jake on commentary, but here we are, people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be like, Jake's just sitting there being like, I got some time because
do you guys have an extra seat? Can I sit here?
do you guys fuck? Is that, I guess, because I'll get down if you guys want me. Oh, you fucks? Okay, cool, I'll do it.
That's just the fastest way of just like asking, really, too. Hey, you fucked?
To be very blunt, there's a lot of times when people are waiting to go somewhere, like you try and figure out, are we gonna get food somewhere? Are we gonna do something? I'm like, so are we gonna fuck or what? And then somebody will usually be like, this one BB's place to go eat. Let's go there.
Nate is actually the king of like last minute planning.
No shit.
Oh, for real. He would be like, hey dude, let's go to the UFC tomorrow. We got VIP seats. And I was like, okay, I guess we're going to the UFC tomorrow.
That's great. I mean, that's kind of how I imagine he would be.
Dude, it's exactly what you would think he would be. In the most positive way possible.
I get it. I mean, listen, Nate is a friend, so it's not like it's saying while being like, yeah, I fucking hate that guy. It's just like, no, I know. Nate's a guy that wakes up, literally looks at the porridge he had at the house he was kind of chilling at, and then just looks over and goes, I found 2 UFC tickets. You guys want to go?
Yeah, for sure, dude. He's living like that extreme bachelor life.
And let him do it,
Yeah, dude, I'm so happy for him.
Nate's the first person to be like, if there's ever going to be like any kind of culture war to sluts, Nate will be the first person on a picket line being like, no slut shame, no slut shame. Like if there was ever any version of a protest that benefited sluts, he would be on the front lines.
Actually, he went with me to a Black Lives Matter march.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he was chanting really loud, right? And all of a sudden, he sees a girl taking pictures. He thought she was very attractive, and he just disappeared. And comes back, and he's like, "Yeah, she wasn't into me." And then he just keep marching and protesting. I love that guy. Yeah, that guy's so funny.
Well, I'm glad that you guys get to do a show together, so that's beautiful to see. It does look like, okay, so I'm going to be confused. I don't know if this is going to be Rafael Cadena versus Emilio Hernandez, so I'm going to keep an eye out for that. But it does look like we have some on-site coverage right now. Joining us, one of the hosts of the Jiu-Jitsu Times podcast, Kevin Gallagher, who is live on-site at Jits Kings. How's it going, Kevin?
What's going on, Raf? How you doing, buddy? Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you okay, man. What is the scene like down there right now?
Man, holy shit. This is probably one of the best events I've ever been to in my life. I'm not even exaggerating, man. Some of the best jiu-jitsu I've seen in years, man. Like the John Cohen's Baby Monster match I just watched is like fight of the year so far. Like just amazing jiu-jitsu. This format's insane. They got some insane talent. Like Jits Kings popping off. They're doing it right, man.
So you don't know this, but at home we are seeing BB Monster, which is the silliest way of calling another human being a name.
Hey, man, that's coming from a guy named Uncle Coach Kevin. So
I mean, I get it, but most of the times when people see your name, they just report you to the local authorities and say,
I'm on somebody's sex offenders
Kev,
list.
Tell me about this, man. Like Roberto Jimenez, how much of a tear is he on tonight?
Oh man, it's insane because I'm watching these matches and I'm watching them all unfold. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't know who's going to win this thing. I literally have no idea who is hottest right now. Baby Monster coming off that big win off of freaking John Combs. You got Jimenez beating Tackett in an amazing manner. You got don't forget about Pedro Moreno, and it's insane, dude. Like who is going to win this thing? Who do you know?
Pedro Moreno throughout the night literally has been one of the few times I've ever been like, I guess you can shove your way into side control.
Seriously, I mean, you literally, like, if you just decide you're going to go for that knee slice pass and try it hard enough, eventually you're going to get past anybody's guard with it.
Like, what a great problem to have, dude.
Right.
Well, let me ask you this, dude. Is there anything happening there that we can't see? Because we're seeing what we see on camera, but is there anything just kind of that you see behind the scenes or that looks kind of crazy?
Man, I heard Dan Martinez hit me up on a text and said he was listening to the commentary and somebody said something about the teams being upset about two teams not getting along with this year. I haven't seen any of that. Everybody seems fine. I mean, the people are pretty socially distant. It seems like it's a pretty laid-back atmosphere. Literally the only people that are winning here are the jiu-jitsu fans tonight, man. This is amazing stuff.
That sensational Dan Martinez trying to promote some false flags to get people angry at each other.
Trying to stir the shit up.
You go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to get going. I don't want to stay on too much longer because there's matches going on and stuff like that. I don't want to be rude. I just wanted to call you, tell you I was Matt's side, be cool for a second, jump on the show, and tell you how much I love you guys and all that shit. I want to get back to watching these freaking.
Appreciate it, man. Give everybody our best over there. We're going to still keep watching over that. We very much appreciate your time, buddy.
No doubt. You. Raph, be good, homie. Thanks, brother.
See you, buddy. That's awesome. Thank
crazy.
you very much to our friend Kevin Gallagher, again, co-host of the Jiu-Jitsu Times podcast. In my top 100-ish favorite shows. That's about right.
So this fight's about to start right now.
Thank you very much for reminding me of that. I'll go and put the name on in just a second.
Gustavo Lopez is fighting. I think he's wearing Mexico shorts.
Uh-oh.
So he's representing and he's going against Valishvili. I don't know if you pronounce the D in Valishvili. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Listen, I'm spelling it wrong. I know that right now. So everybody just has the deal.
For some reason, it says catch weight, but it's 135 pounds. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, so it's 139. I don't know. I guess one person didn't make weight.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of not making weight and last minute changes on this one.
Yeah, one fight got canceled, which was the first fight of the preliminary card, and then I think Jessica missed weight, and the Jessica Vela, she missed weight too.
Well, that's why she had to get that quick finish. She was like, nope, gotta get out.
Yeah, for real. All right, so it starts. Lopez is in the green. Valishvili is in the black. So far, Lopez looks strong. He's controlling the center. His footwork is crazy. He has that Mexican boxer stance.
Wish I had that, my friend. You're looking at right now, it is 4:30 on my clock over here. The two of them just kind of shaking off, looking to see who's going to control the center of it. Now, Gian, I want to ask you on this. How much do you know about either of these fighters? Have you seen them fight before?
No, not. I feel like the whole card is just a bunch of new talent that they put on the UFC Apex just to fill out the card, in which I'm happy because sports is sports, man.
Absolutely. Look at this. You've got on this side, Marab just trying to consume and swarm in on Lopez, which is a very interesting approach because I think he realized he's like, all right, man, if you're going to stand up with me and have kind of a similar base of movement as if I can just drag you down a little bit, I can get some punches in the meantime, push you up against the cage, and it looks like he's consistently looking like he wants to drop him from here.
I love Lopez's confidence. He
Mm-hmm.
looks very calm, cool, collected. He's constantly smiling at Valishvili. His name
Diwali Civili.
Diwali Savili.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Look at me like I'm the end all be all. I'm guessing here, my friend, and that's about as good as it's coming. And this is the
Yeah.
thing I like about this is for a split second in the opening few seconds of the bout, it did look like Marab was doing a good job of trying to attack the back and drag him down a little bit. But it also seemed to look like how you try to lift up your friends out of a bar when they're drunk.
Oh, for sure. I was always the receiving end of that part.
Oh, good. Bless you then.
Yeah, dude, Lopez looks so calm. Uh-oh, that jab. He was mixing up with that overhand right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
It's cool to see. Oh, nice uppercut there. I like this. So for me, it's a little confusing because on Lopez's body with a little bit of the tattoos that look like mini islands from Hawaii. And it kind of is the point where I'm like, oh, is he bleeding? No, it's just his tattoo. It's very confusing.
Yeah, it happens to me with my like half sleeve. It looks like I have a rash because there's like red on it. So he's family.
I mean, good for you, dude. It's probably not one of the best choices you could make in a sport where everybody's afraid of red.
That's true. You're right.
But, we all make choices. Again, over here with the drunken help you up stance of making sure his friend's going to get to his Uber safely.
Those are the real friends.
They really are, actually.
Uh-oh. Oh, man. Crazy takedown. That was beautiful. That was just pure strength, too, though. It was beautiful, though.
Yeah, no, that's that stuff that you learn as a wrestler, that when the wrestler tries to teach you how to do it, when you're older, you go, no.
Yeah.
I won't be doing that. You might.
You know what's funny? There's this wrestling class at Dark Haven Studio, which is at 12 p.m. That's taught by Donnie Bryan.
Mhm.
And he's like, first half of his class is mostly like about wrestling, and I'm always the uki. And then I'm like, oh, I love this class. But then when I realized I was the uki, I was like, man, I hate this. It's always takedowns after takedowns, and my back is always sore before I go to work.
My God. This is ridiculous to see. I always think about it in this sense, which is I will go to the wrestling class and I will give my best, okay, face.
Oh,
but that's about it. It's never going to be pretty. It's just going to be like, I'm here.
Oh, it sucks because I wanted to join wrestling when I was a kid. But in Puerto Rico, there's no wrestling whatsoever. We have an Olympic team, but how did you get there? It's just like, oh, you must be, strong enough at least.
You know what it is? They just pull a name out of a hat and they're like, congrats, you're basically our Jamaican bobsled team.
Yeah, felicidades. Bienvenidos.
Basically fit you with a singlet and they're like, get on out there. Boom.
Your thighs look good. Put this on.
I just always feel like in those situations where you see countries that don't really have the preparation to be at the Olympics, but they're there. It just reminds me of like the Hunger Games when you have that bewilderment from Jennifer Lawrence looking around like, what am I doing here? And they just kind of like smile and go like, we're parading around right now, but we're like the first that are going to be eliminated. You all know this.
That's like me at every tournament that I like compete at.
Well, it does look like we will make it to a second round as we commercial, so good for them. Meanwhile, back down here, it looks like we do have overtime, possibly with the decision for the black belt. I believe this is Rafael Cadena versus Emilio Hernandez. I'll see if I can get you guys the name of the results as they come in. Nope, it's overtime. Double pull guard. That was nice to get some on-site coverage from our good pal Kevin Gallagher. Kevin Gallagher hosts again the Jiu-Jitsu Times podcast. He's good people. He's very nice. He always makes sure to say hello to us, and I'm just glad that he comes and do these things.
That's so cool. It's really cool to be a part of like this community for sure, especially moving here not too long ago. It's still a culture shock to me.
It takes a while to get used to, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, a lot of us take our Americanness for granted, so it's just kind of like, oh, you mean this? Whatever.
Yeah, for real. It's like, you like I would watch people like you and like see Jiu-Jitsu times like all the way in Puerto Rico, and I'd be like, man, it'd be cool to meet them one day, maybe one day, and then I'm like, oh, cool, I'm here.
Yeah, it's interesting because we have a lot of people who have started off as fans and have done their own shows or do their own media, and they'll send us very nice notes. And it's cool. It's funny to me because I'm like, oh my god, we've been around forever. Like that's what it comes down to is I'm just like, yeah, we've been around for a while. I've got 422 over on my side. The two of them just kind of exchanging a series of overhand rights. Nothing too crazy here. Bouncing around on the feet, very light from Merab. And you've got Gustavo, though. Ooh, nice spinning back kick, though. I like that. On my opinion, though, this is a very interesting fight in that you have to give, in my opinion, Merab the very first round. So you wonder what. Ooh, nice chop of the leg there. Mixing it up. You do have to wonder what his team told him in the middle of it because he is not looking like he really wants to slow down by the aggressiveness of that takedown.
Oh no, not at all. I'm glad the way Lopez is using his half guard. He has like a Z guard actually, just protecting himself, not just trying to get that full guard. But now you see Merab right back onto half guard again.
Let me see over this way. I hear your cat. Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's my cat.
It sounds like either your cat is just saying hello or it's been kidnapped. So that's the only reason I ask.
No, it's just in heat.
Oh, okay. For a split second when I heard your cat just meowing, it was just like, send help.
Yeah. Nah, she's just
dead in the middle of a long thing.
Yeah. It's funny. I didn't want to have a cat not too long ago, but like it's the best thing I look forward to when I get out of work.
Oh, same, dude. I didn't believe I would be a good dog father, but the wife has really wanted one, and we have a dog now, and the dog is like spoiled immensely just because we're just always like, oh, you're so cute. We love you, dog. Come here. The weird part is like at the very beginning of when she was a baby, she would come over and she would know when I'm about to go on air, and she would look at me like, I want attention now. And I was like, you want to be on camera.
Yeah.
And I put it on camera, and now when I'm doing these things, she's just sleeping on the couch like, do your dumb show, Dad.
Yeah, that's me with my podcast with the cat. She's just sleeping like right next to me every time I do the podcast. You see that? God. Like, what is that? Neck crank?
It's not just a neck crank. I saw for a split second that.
Oh.
Wow.
That's insane. Oh, that's an armbar.
It is, but it was starting with that kind of catch wrestling beginning of it. Man, props to him. That's a no-win. That's an Americana right there.
Yeah.
Yep. Straightens it out way better. Oh, God. Oh, and is able. That's the right move to make. I just don't know that he's going to be able to do it without like having to sacrifice the ability to punch with his right hand.
Bro, I know I'm a little bit ahead of you, but there's this double leg that Merab does.
Is that what's going to happen right now? Because I'll tell you this much. Yeah, that's a pretty effortless one. That's a little fuck off on your cartwheel, dude. No one asked you for that.
Yeah, dude. I was like, whoa.
I'm not in the mood for that, guys. You can chill the fuck out on that.
Get your flashy shit out of here.
If I can't do it, you shouldn't be able to do it either, is really what it boils down to.
Yeah.
For a split second, it looks like my Jits Kings stream has come to a quick pause. I don't think they took an intermission, so I'm going to try and pull that back up while I give you guys a little bit of time to breathe. It is 37 seconds left for me as you see now Lopez trying to initiate some offense, and it just looked like when Merab kicked his leg out that he just goes, oh, fuck, not again. All right, Merab back with the Grips over on the back, this time just using a blunt instrument of his elbow to try and come in and see if he can get through the back door. Now on this side, yes, we are on the next match over here, which is Roberto Jimenez versus Pedro Moreno. And Pedro is in on a heel hook and gets it over on Roberto Jimenez, who is wincing at the end of that match.
Wow. That's crazy.
Talk about a fantastic night. Roberto accepting his fate, but the two of them exchanging, some well wishes to one another. Obviously, Pedro coming in to just double see that, obviously Roberto is okay. The two of them are going to separate in a second. But there's a very nice show of respect between both of those fighters. And you will see Pedro Moreno advancing to the finals now. Yikes. That's intense. I wish I could describe that even more as intense and crazy as it was, but it was what it was. Later in the evening tonight, you will see, I believe, in one more match after this next semi, it's going to be Cody Steele versus Mauricio Gomez, and that'll preclude the men's finals match. So just to keep you guys updated, Jits Kings is streaming along just fine. They should be coming to a close very shortly. As we know, go back up to the top of the third round of this bout between Merab and Gustavo, with also at this point, Merab looking 2 rounds ahead pretty cleanly in this fight so far. I like that during the break on the ESPN telecast, it did re-show that catch wrestling-esque sort of head and arm control that Josh Barnett would truly be proud of.
Oh, for sure. Have you been watching Josh Barnett's pro wrestling matches?
From Bloodsport?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
They're brilliant. I was in so much shock at how good of a pro wrestler Josh Barnett is.
He's really good. And I would say this. I've never looked at with any of my jiu-jitsu other than the goofy stuff that we do. Like, I didn't grow up thinking, I'm going to be a pro wrestler. I didn't grow up thinking I'm going to be a jiu-jitsu guy. But that Bloodsport is the first time, having done some jiu-jitsu over these years, that I look up and I was like, that would have been my jam. Like, that's about as good as it could have been. And even then, it's a great set of storytelling. And, it's really good because sometimes they fucks with the conventional format of what makes a strong heel or baby face, and they make it a lot more even.
I love it.
Looks like my stream froze up on my computer, but I still have it on my TV. Meanwhile, we are going to the other semifinal match, which is BB Monster versus one Ali Taza. So whoever wins here will be taking on Pedro Moreno in the final.
Dude, Merab keeps doing these double legs like nothing.
I know. And here, I would say this, though. I don't know if this is Lopez's, kind of shot in the dark, or if it's his coach's. But at the very least, threatening that Kimura is not a terrible decision. But now as he stands back up, it just looks like more of, what's your worst poison? Standing up with you or watching you try to pass my guard the entire time?
Yep. Oh, man.
As we play on, there is about 250-ish left on my side as I call it up on my computer, which is a much faster variation of it. And now I've seen full guard. He has now passed into the high mount. And for a split second, it looked like he was trying to escape, and he just dragged him back down onto hell. Oh my God, dude. This is intense. This is a lot of pressure to be putting on somebody. And just because of how aggressive he is here, you see Merab just slide himself off of back control.
Yeah, I love his grappling, like his just style of just mauling.
Oh, I have to interrupt here for just a second. Ali Taza is in on a heel hook, and BB Monster is trying to just push the knee to get his leg back. And I know he's doing a good job of faking it, but he was cringing for a split second in a way that does not make me feel comfortable. Meanwhile, back up on the UFC, you see Merab just kind of punching in any given position he has here. I've got 125 left on my computer now that I see on this telecast. effortlessly transitioning between half, side, and then almost looking like he wants to threaten the back, but instead he just like throwing a few bombs to make it uncomfortable for everybody watching.
Oh, dude, this gives me claustrophobia just watching it.
This is like the nightmare. This is the one that your therapist tells you he can't hurt you. Merab isn't real, and you're like, no,
yeah, for real, man. I look at him and it just gives me just paranoia, bro.
Yeah, it's a no bueno day there. Meanwhile, nice sweep over by one young Ali Taza, who now has a heel hook again. He switches it, passes on over to the other side, and a very, very quick escape by BB Monster, who over on the side, Ali Taza looks like he tries to invert back in on it, switches the legs, now has the ability to attack the opposite leg, and BB Monster is doing his best to just kind of chuck him off, and he continuously has to deal with it. Here, there's going to be the potential for a heel hook and maybe a knee bar. You do see BB Monster a little more dead in his tracks. Meanwhile, up at the top, Merab is just passing his time, seeing if he can go ahead and make life worth for Lopez to go home and have some injuries to live through. You've got over here again, Ali Taza still doing his best, and we are going to see the end of the round. He will survive, and good for him.
It's going straight to the decision, but you can tell it's a unanimous decision.
There's no decision to be made there. We're good.
Exactly. Yeah, we're good.
Rhonda Marcos says, love the wrestling from Devashili, and I would say yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It's not just even the wrestling, it's the control.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very, very controlled aggression that he had. I mean, up until the back take, which didn't, he just like slip and slide off. But I can excuse that. It's just funny to me because I'm like, yo, bro, you can end this if you want to. And he's like, no, cannot, must punch.
Yeah, for real, dude. But it was cool. I feel like Lopez, once he has like a really good wrestling defense, his stand-up is ridiculous, though.
I agree.
Yeah.
He had some good kicks and especially some good punches in there that
great
cracked
footwork.
A few times. That replay that they just put of him getting a clear overhand right on it is just so money that follows into a takedown like a single leg where he doesn't even have to worry about any guillotine attempts. He just finds the right placement where he needs to be. Now, just to give you guys the idea, it is 70 to 18 in significant strikes, 13 takedowns, and 7 minutes and 36 seconds of ground control time. So kudos to him.
How many takedowns was he like away from Khabib's record? Was Khabib's record was like 26?
I think so. I would have to go back and double check it. Mostly, I just know that Khabib's record is like what 27 and something.
Oh
so
yeah, for sure.
I never like to mix those numbers because I just go, yeah, it sounds good.
No, but it's just like the takedown. I know Khabib had like the record of the amount of takedowns in one single fight was like 23 or something. I was like, Jesus.
I mean, it's good problems to have, dude.
Oh,
Wish
for
I
real.
could. So here's what I'm going to do to fill people in. What it looks like we're going to be coming up on right now is it's going to be the end of the prelims. So what we're going to do is we're going to end this telecast when they go to the main card. So in about about 6 minutes or so, we're going to end this broadcast and go into the main card broadcast. So that way we can split them up. You guys know where we're at. And more importantly, that if you come back later, he's got the disco version of Khabib's hair.
Oh yeah, it's the funky version, bro.
Oh, dude.
It's the funky version.
That's a weird variation of it. Yeah. Well, no, I get it. You got double flags, bro, and more power to you. But
for real,
Jesus Christ. Yep, the whole crew's wearing it. Oh my God, it's like the Black Sideshow Bob hair.
For real.
Well, credit to them. Meanwhile, Ali Taza again on the heel hook. I can't see over here. For a split second, he looked like he was in on a heel hook knee bar entry. And again, continuously putting more hurt over on this. This is going to be one of those things where if Ali Taza doesn't win, just based on the amount of things that he has been trying to throw in the kitchen sink on this thing, I will be a little bit miffed. So I need to see a scorecard just to make sure over here because they don't have it in anywhere on the broadcast. You have to look over to the side to see what it says. Now they're going to bring them back on over. Yep, we're going into overtime, which should be fun. I would say this with Merab right now. Merab definitely has that like Drew Dober strut over to the commentary, just being like, I did really good, everybody.
Yeah. That was a great performance, a great wrestling clinic for sure.
There's a stop as Ali Taz is grabbing his head. Please show me a replay of that. I think he might have taken like a headbutt. That's not good. Because if he can't continue, they're just probably going to advance. God. Yeah. I'm going to need someone to explain to me exactly what's going on over on that side. And the fro got froier.
Yep. I think it's from the sweat, though. That humidity that's inside that gym, it's probably like one of those like small gyms that a bunch of people were rolling and it's just like all like evaporated and it's just like those doors are just look like if it was snowing outside. It's just cold.
He says he's very happy he got the fight on 1 week's notice. So that's Murab talking right now. No, referee is stopping the fight underneath again, just so that they can go 10 to Ali Taz's head.
Jesus.
So it doesn't look super crazy, but he just told him like stop as he was on the ground and he pulls guard and they're making him stand back up. And there's a lot of yelling and Josh LeDuc is yelling at the ref. So that's got to be fun. I guess we can ask him about that. And now he's just like throwing up his hands like, whatever, bro.
Damn.
They return back and Ali Taza grabbing around the back of BB Monster's head. The referee looking very cautiously and carefully as this is all happening over on their side. The two of them both on the ground now. Ollie maybe trying to get in a sweep over here. I think Ollie knows that since this is like points-based for the overtime, he's going to need to get some kind of sweep or some kind of submission to secure a spot in the finals.
Damn. Awesome. Yeah, I think that's the end of the prelims, brother.
Okay. I don't know. I couldn't tell who Murab was calling out, but for a split second, I thought he was calling out Paul Felder. So Paul Felder had that confused like, bro, don't call me out. I'm on the commentary booth. Leave me
For
alone.
real.
It's one of the few people who's left who's still actively fighting, who's on the commentary teams. And he's like, please don't.
Yeah, I know, right? So who do you want to fight? You, motherfucker.
Felder's got to be looking around like, bro, I don't know. No, you're a catchweight. No, I think he called out somebody. I just couldn't make heads or tails of who it was. And now you're seeing, Ali Taza still trying to get the sweep going over here, almost doing kind of like a gi version or a no-gi version of like a spider guard kind of grip with the arm. And that's what's coming up over here. Maybe we'll let this play out for just a second longer, but then we're going to go ahead and kill the stream. Meanwhile, as we do that, and I can plan ahead, I will send you the link to the other stream so that you are prepared in just a second, sir.
Awesome. Actually, I think I had to like head out. It's
not a problem, dude. I appreciate your time, dude.
I appreciate it. Is it okay if I plug in something quickly?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was going to put you on the main frame. Go for it. Do it.
Awesome. I just want to give a shout out to Dark Haven Studio. On Monday, there's a pre-sale for the shirts of Black Lives Matters pre-sale. You can go to their shop. They have really awesome merchandise, but they have these Black Lives Matter t-shirts that will 100% of the revenue will go to the Black Lives Matters movement and NAACP and other local organizations here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So thank you. You can follow me at GBabyIsNotFunny on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And Raf, thank you so much. I love you so much. Thank you for inviting me, and I would love to do this again.
We will definitely bring you back, sir. You are a delight in this. And like I said, man, that's great that you're doing that. It's always a pleasure chatting with you, and I very much appreciate your time. And to everybody else who's watching right now, I'm just going to tell you this. We're going to be right back in just a second for the main card. I'm also going to walk you through the very last parts of Jits Kings, so don't go anywhere. Get ready for our second stream coming back. We'll be back in just a second. Peace.